Good morning, good morning, good morning, my beauties. Welcome to Twisted Tragedies, where we follow all the twists wherever they lead. Wherever they lead, and I am your host, Elise, and we're already freezing. And for the love of King God, I can't with the freezing. That shit's gonna drive me bananas. Well, thank you, Biker. It was actually my first time ever editing a video. I had to figure out how to do it myself. And so my intro was my very first figuring out how to edit anything without help and doing it myself. And then my outro was my second shot at doing it. So I am very proud of my intro and outro because I did it myself without any help. And I absolutely am super duper proud of it. It might not be, one of those things where it's super professional, but for a first timer, I'm very proud of the work that I did on the intro and outro for that matter. I made the outro even longer because I got a little cocky after the intro was a good I wanted it to be a little longer than 2 minutes, but it was fine. It was fine. And yes, today is my little's birthday. It makes me feel old. I'm a fucking old lady. All right. She's 8 today. So happy birthday to Mini Twisted. She's at school, but I'm sure they're still celebrating her at school and saying happy birthday. So happy birthday to my little. She's an amazing kid. Smart, kind, creative, funny. Kind of a pain in the ass sometimes, but she's very strong-willed like her mama, so I can't freaking blame her. And I have to give the public happy birthday to my minion. I love my minion. And a special shout out to all of you guys who remembered. So appreciate y'all. And she'll appreciate it when I tell her when she gets home from school that everybody said happy birthday. So yeah, let's try to keep it cool, calm, and collected today. Let's keep it cool, calm, and collected. I'm having an okay Friday. Today, hubby has today off. So I kind of took the morning to just chill a little bit, have my coffee, and you got a notification. Yes. Did you get my message back I sent you this morning? My voice message. It went through, right? I think it looked like it did, but no, next Friday is my birthday. My birthday's not till next week. Next Friday. My little's birthday is today. And then 3 days after mine, the day that the Walsh trial starts, is my oldest's birthday. Remember, it's the secret. I'm 21 every year. I'm 21 again every year. Yay me! Oh, thank you, Sam. You guys know I love to play with bright colors, and the trolls love to troll me over it. But if they even knew how many times I was asked to do other people's makeup or paid to do someone's makeup for prom or, my friends' kids, my friends, and it's always men that have something to say about it too. That's what I find funny. And do you know what's even funnier is when I'm out in public, men comment on how much they like it. So it's so funny to me. I like to play with it. It's art, right? It's art for your face. And I like to play with colors and have fun with it because that's what it's supposed to be. Fun. I might want to move my microphone over here. You're supposed to have fun with it, right? And I like the bright colors. And so I do have fun with it. I have fun with it and I do different things. I remember, you guys probably remember when I did the whole rainbow. I did a whole rainbow of eyeshadow one day. It's fun. I'm also wearing this shirt just for you guys. I'm just here to establish an alibi. I'm just saying. You guys know I have many of these crime-related shirts. This is one of my favorites because a lot of them are black. I need to get different colors. I need to get reds and yellows and oranges and blues and greens. I have pink and I have black. And I think I have one gray one. But this one says, I'm just here to establish an alibi. So I also like the one that says we're going to play a game called Duck, Duck, Tape. But you know what I mean. Okay. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate you, Biker. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, these are my so fun fact. This morning my hair was like stick your finger in a light socket frizzy. I was just gonna put it up in a high pony, like I have it. And so I put it up and then it was like, hey, your Puerto Rican's coming out, Elise, and you're Congolesian, and poof, right? My Irish side did not take over. Okay. It was all the Spanish and Congolesian and Portuguese in me, and it just and so I was like, what can I do quickly so that this frizz goes away? Well, I can curl the bottoms of it, boing, with my curler, or I could flat iron it. And I was like, you know what? I haven't messed with, and I'm going to do curls when I go out for my birthday, if I can still do that. Hopefully I can. I'm going to do curls, but I'm going to do it with my hair down. So that's going to be different. But shit, my nail just broke. I would also like to get my freaking nails done before my birthday. I don't think that's happening either, but it's a nice thought nonetheless. I gotta cut this because wow, that is sharp when a nail breaks and then it breaks the wrong way. No, can't have that. So then it'll get caught on my shirt and everything else. All right, fix that. But that's the fun reason behind the curls. I was like, oh, okay, well, that's what we're doing. We're doing it. It's happening. We're doing it. My hair actually looks much better when I actually take the time to curl it and it's down. It looks beautiful. And I intend on doing that for my birthday because I owe that to myself. I also probably owe myself a spa day and my hair done, but that's not happening. So the best I can do is curl my hair and go out for my birthday, which I'm hoping. Still hoping I can do that. We'll see. If I can come up with the funds and the show goes well for the next week, then it's a possibility. If not, then it is what it is. All right. A cigarette in my ear. Nope. Just my good old headphone. And I only wear one because I like to be able to hear with the other, like in case someone knocks on my door or a package comes or, I like to be able to hear. So I only wear one so I can hear what's going on, for a reason, but I like it that way. Freudian slip, yeah. Thank you, Benny. Appreciate it. Right? She does. She'll whine a little bit during the day. She's likes to sleep a lot during the day. Dora likes to sleep during the day. She's not doing lots of exploring during the day, She's not looking for a backpack, and Swiper isn't swiping. So she kind of just chills under the couch. I cut this wrong. And takes a nap. But as soon as my daughter comes home, she instantly comes out from under the couch and starts whining. Wow, wow. She's very vocal. So it's not whining, essentially. It's really her just like talking, like, hey, give me a pat me. So that's what she does. Thank you, Maui. She's going to love all her birthday wishes when she gets home. She'll be very happy. People said happy birthday to her. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. No, my mic's on. I had it way over here. I needed to move it. I probably sounded far away for a second. It's echoey. Me echoey? Am I echoey? Or is it fixed now? I had moved it. It was like way over here and I realized it and then moved it in front of me. I hope I'm not echoey. You guys are going to have to tell me if I'm echoey. Thank you. Yeah, no, they're definitely not men over there. You're right. You're right about that. You're right about that. Pink and black are some of my favorite colors that go together. Yeah, the shirt says we're going to play a game called Duck Duck Tape. Yeah, it's a pretty funny shirt. Yes, like button, y'all. I would very well appreciate that. Okay, I'm good. Perfect. Hey, Lynn. Nice to see you. Okay. So, with that shenanigans out of the way, and yes, they're not shenanigans here on Twisted Tragedies. They are now called shenanigans because that's what we're calling them. That's why. Because it's fun sometimes to have your own lingo, and they're not shenanigans anymore. They are now called shenanigans. And we get into some shenanigans. Neighbor's cat. It was the neighbor's cat. Yeah, it was way over there, so I'm guessing you guys couldn't hear me. It's my morning brain. I apologize. I'm still getting over being sick, so my brain is still in like make sense mode. Depends. Yeah, they're shenanigans. We're calling them shenanigans now. They're called shenanigans. It depends on if it's on. That's the, you know what I mean? The Farwell stuff is the stuff I am definitely covering. The problem with the Karen stuff is it's a civil thing. So I don't necessarily know if it's going to be anywhere where we can actually see it, right? There's not always cameras inside the courtroom there. So I'm going to see, hold on. And I think it's not until this afternoon, I believe. Sounds like a high-end panty. Shenanigans! We're calling them shenanigans. They're called shenanigans. So I don't see anything yet. So we'll just throw that out there. I don't see anything yet on any of the Reed stuff. Very well, you know, might not be streamed, and I might just have to wait to get the update. But we'll see, right? Yeah, I'm sure it is on Zoom. It's not for another like hour or hour. Yeah, about an hour. A little bit. What time is it? Yeah, about an hour-ish, an hour and some change. But I'm not sure if it's, you know what? I got an idea. Hold on. I know it's a Zoom. It's always a Zoom, but here's the problem. A lot of the time, if you don't put in permission ahead of time from the court to stream their Zoom, even though my problem with that is it's a public trial, I should have the right to stream it even if it's on Zoom. Zoom is public. I should have a right to watch it, stream it, whatever. It's public, right? Nonetheless, if you stream it without asking permission and the judge is one of those judges that just doesn't want that happening, then you'll just get booted from the Zoom and possibly lose access for other things in the future. So I don't want to necessarily do that. So, you know, I'm going to ask someone real quick that I know has the answer to this and see what the deal is. Give me 1 second. Yeah, they will literally like boop you out. Like boop right on out. They will bounce you and you'll get bounced right out of the Zoom. And then, you know, further stuff from other cases will be like, you won't be able to access it and it'll be a whole rigmarole, which I don't want to do. So let me just ask someone real quick that I know knows the answer to this. That's the thing though. Zooms, you can't always access them after they're done. You can pay and file to get the hearing if it was recorded on video outside of Zoom, that they have like a portal where you can like, you know, buy it, pay for it essentially, and then I could stream it. But that's if the court does that. It's a whole fucking shit show. Here's the thing. It's a public trial. I should be able to do whatever the fuck I want. It should be publicly available to anybody who wants to stream it, watch it, laugh at it, scream at it, cry at it. If you can't fit us all in a courtroom, then your option is, oh, you guys can watch it on Zoom, or oh, you guys can watch it on the news. Cool, that's great and all, but a public trial is just that, a public trial. And I really hate how court systems, and I understand why they do in some instances and safety and all that, but here's the thing. They hide the jury and the jury reactions, which I get, but at the same time, if you went to the courthouse in person, wanted to sit there, wanted to watch a trial, you would see all that. You would see all that because that's part of a public trial. So taking those parts out, while I understand it's for safety, it's not really a public trial if you take those portions of it out when it's being streamed because the courtroom's full. Then you're not giving the public full public access. Let me see. Let me just ask someone real quick. I'll get an answer from this person. NBC Boston 10 has a reminder. Oh, interesting. Well, I know they have one for the Walsh stuff. Hold on. NBC 10 News is on, like specifically the news right now. And they're already, oh, I see it. I see it. Okay. That's perfect. That means they are streaming it, which means we can cover it. No, silly. We didn't let the neighbor's cat in. The neighbor's dog. So the neighbor had a cat, and the cat was brought in by your ex-boyfriend. They split, and he didn't take the cat. He did not take the cat. And her dog was trying to like eat the cat. Like she has 2 dogs. One of the dogs was trying to like eat the cat, basically. Just kept trying to attack the poor cat. Yeah. And she's a very lovable cat. She meows a lot. But my neighbor next to them, so they're across from me, my neighbors that we talk to that are next to them, reached out to us and were like, we know you were looking for maybe a kitten for Riley. Do you think you could take the cat? Because otherwise we don't know what's going to happen with it. And the cats are stuck in one room right now because of the dogs. And so we were like, how do you say no to that? How do you say no? So we didn't say no. Well, my husband didn't say no, which I was shocked about because he's not a cat person. He's a dog person. So we didn't say no. So Dora's around here somewhere. And that's her name. I did not name her. That is literally her name. Happy Friday, Lisa. You are a problem solver. You are, Shay. Listen, if I didn't have you guys, sometimes I would be lost. I'm telling you. Sometimes my brain is holding so many things that I don't even know. All right. You guys definitely take a part of that off my shoulders, and I appreciate it. As a matter of fact, let me see. I need to crapola. Gosh darn it. This is what I need to do. I need to go into this, and I need to go into this, and I need to go here, and then I need to go do this. Okay. And then I need to go down to the bottom of, no, that's not it. For the love of God. Crap. For the love of God. Oops. Ugh. I'm telling you guys, my brain today is just like, it's not. It's just not. OMG. Okay, now if I can do fix that, fix this, analytics. All right, wonderful. Pop that in there. Push this here. You know, there is so much nonsense that goes into streaming. Sometimes I'm like, listen, I'm only one freaking person. I'm only one person. Ooh, grocery delivery fancy. It's not that fancy for those of us who like don't drive and don't have a car. It actually sucks because then you can't go to the store and pick out the actual things that you want or need. You have to just hope that they have it. And sometimes they go out of stock. We don't have it. Out of stock. So stupid. That would be so fun. I wish you could all teleport to me. Just press a button and you could all just poof, that would be so fun, which is why I think our late night Christmas Eve thing is going to be fun. Even though you can't all teleport, to me. It'll be like you're teleporting to me. And that'll be cool. That'll be a blast. All right. Put this here. Put this on this up here. That there. Okay, that's wonderful. Great. Fantastical. Okay. Good morning, darling. My phone is going bonkers today. There's like 70,000 things happening at once. And God damn it, I am only one human. Oh, I can't make it bigger yet. Fuck, that's annoying. That's really obnoxious. So, okay. Okay, all right. You know, sometimes I feel like we're in upside down land, guys. I feel like we're in upside down land. All right, so we have the Reed hearing. In the meantime, okay, I do have a little bit of a timeline, right? Oh yeah, see, that's not good. See, that's the problem with the substitutions that they do when you do grocery shopping. I still need to do grocery shopping for said birthday party for said small child. And that's going to be an absolute freaking nightmare. Yeah, it's going to be a while for that one. You have to remember 103 minutes is essentially an hour. So it's like 63 minutes, really. I don't know. YouTube does it weird. It's an hour and 3 minutes. It's not actually like what they do is one, instead of, you would think like 60 and 30, right? That's 90. That would be an hour and a half. That's not how it does it. One is an hour, which is ridiculous. Interesting. Any update on why Judge Canoni is replacing the other judge today? I have no idea. That's a good question. No, I do not know why. I mean, although she is very familiar with said case, I'm not a fan. We all know I'm not a huge fan of Canoni. She let some really ridiculous, nonsensical crap happen in her courtroom. She didn't really have control over her courtroom. I'm not a huge fan of hers. Yeah, me too. You know, I like to pick it myself and be able to, you know, pick what I'm gonna make. You know, and I like certain things, like certain brands or certain, you know, and I'm not too picky about being a non, you know, if it's not a name brand, I'm not picky about that, but I'm picky about like, I don't want to have like the 17 dents on my on my pepper, you know what I mean? And I don't want like a tiny pepper. I want a big pepper, you know? So yeah, I'm a little bit biased with my veggies and things that I want to cook. And we do eat a lot of fruits and veggies in my house. Contrary to popular belief, my kids are not those kids that don't like veggies and stuff. They do. They actually do. They like broccoli and they like fruits and I love that. I never had to really argue with them about fruits and veggies. You know what I mean? But that's a damn good question. Sorry, we were buffering. That's a damn good question, chicks, and it's nice to see you, by the way. Yeah, I'm just not. There were too many freaking things that happened in her courtroom that she sort of let happen, right? And I'm sorry, but you really have to. If you're going to be a judge, you have to have control of your courtroom as a judge, and she just didn't. You know, I was hoping. Yeah, I was hoping we would never see this judge again, to be honest. I'm not a huge fan. You know, the last two cases she did involving police officers both ended in a mistrial on the first trial. And what does that tell you, right? I'm just saying. You can set it to not substitute, but you would assume that they're not stupid enough to substitute it with something meat if it's not meat, but apparently not. You know, oh, my kid loves salads. My little loves salads. She absolutely loves them. I used to pack her salad for lunch almost every day. And then I was like, all right, let's start switching it up a little bit. You know, let's have some sandwiches in there. But she loves salad. I love salad. I would think that really only my middle is not a huge salad person, but she's very picky, my middle. So, but I agree with you. See, make that make sense though. They want our food. It's because they want what we have. They won't eat it by themselves, but they want what we have. Make it make sense, you goddamn children. Always wanting to eat your parents' food and whatnot. You ever have it where you ask them what they want and they say they don't know, right? And then they say they're not hungry, you don't want anything right now, and you make yourself something because they're like, no, I'm not going to eat it right now, and I'm like, okay, well, let me know when you want to eat it, and I'll make it. So then you don't make them anything, and then you make yourself something, and then immediately they come over and they want to eat what you have. It's like, you just said you weren't hungry, child or children. What is this? Shenanigans, I say. Shenanigans. All right? Lots of shenanigans happening. Goddamn children. This is shenanigans, I say. Lots of shenanigans. Lots of shenanigans. Okay. Girl, listen, I hear you on that. I probably wouldn't either. I hate the substitutions. I shut them off because I'm like, no, I don't want you to pick. Thank you. No idea. I have no comment on that scenario because I have no idea what's going on there. I love salad too. I'm a salad person. Kate is saying on X, the courtroom is closed to the public. No video feed, and if Zoom is accessed and streamed or broadcast, they will cut the Zoom. Well, that's true. I was literally just saying that. If the judge orders that it can't be streamed via Zoom, which again makes no sense to me if it's a public trial, then whatever. But NBC 10 has it already set up. So if the courtroom's closed to the public and there's no video feed, then what are we getting right here on NBC 10? I mean, is it just audio? It's live in 96 minutes. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have the answer. I can only guess just like everyone else. I mean, I did hear something at some point where they were saying like Zoom will be the only thing and it won't be streamed, but it's like, once again, public trial. I don't know how you stop people from streaming it via Zoom when it's a public trial. It should not matter who streams it, right? That shouldn't matter. It's a public trial. Even civil, it's a public trial. So why is the public not entitled? We should be entitled to walk into the courtroom, and if there's no space in there and they say, no, you can't come in here, they still have to give you an optional way to watch it if you so choose, which their option, I guess, is Zoom. Okay, cool. Well, if I'm watching it via Zoom, right, and Zoom rooms can get full, they probably pay for the premium version, but still, right, I have a big problem with courts that say, oh, you have the right to a fair and public trial. That's part of the whole having a fair trial thing, is it being public. That's part of it, right? So that nothing is done in the dark. But to me, it feels like if you're cutting off people from streaming it or from playing it via the news, the judges, right? That's not public. You're not allowing the public to access it. While I understand why they don't show juries and their expressions and their faces during a trial on like the news or court TV or whatever, if I were to walk into a courtroom, I could see all of that because it's a public trial. So what happens when that courtroom is full? I should still have the full access that I would get if I wanted to walk into the courtroom and watch the entire thing, because that is the purpose of a public trial. I don't think anybody has actually ever challenged that, because I do believe that if it was ever challenged and it went to the Supreme Court, common sense and the law, the way it's written, would say it's a public trial. The public has the right to see all of it. Now, they're still, they can still have sidebars and things that you're not allowed to hear, just like the jury. But the entirety of it, watching the judge, watching the jury, watching the witness, watching the defendant, like that's part of a public trial. A public trial wasn't meant just for the jury. It was meant for anyone who wanted to walk in and watch this public trial. That is the way it is always supposed to work. And I just think that a lot of courts are putting some restrictions on that, and I'm not a fan of it.
I am not a freaking fan of it. But if they don't want you to stream the Zoom, they will cut you right from the Zoom, and you will have a bigger problem in the future. That's why I said I'm not going to do that if it's a thing, you know. We do not have great weather. Is it warm where you live, biker? I mean, what state do you live in? Or country? Oh yeah, you're in Canada, right? That's right. You're in Canada. Is it cold there now? It's cold here. It is cold here in Massachusetts. It is cold. Let's see. Right? You do rock. Thank you. Ooh, gotta love pasta sauce. And I do. Lots of garlic because it's good for the gut. My special, you put a little bit of adobo, a little bit of sazon, right? Some cracked black pepper. Oof. It's a good sauce right there. I give it a little Spanish twist to it. You know what I'm saying? But it's delicious. It's delicious. I use a lot of garlic and everything. It's good for the gut. Well, I'm hoping we can watch it. I mean, I don't know why they would have it here ready to stream if they're not going to play it. You know what I mean? That doesn't really make sense to me. But I guess, yeah, it's kind of like a play it by ear, I guess, at this point, you know? That could mean that there's one pool camera, and NBC 10 is the pool camera, you know? So I guess we'll find out, you know? What do you mean close the criminal case? You got to be more specific because the judge can't just close a criminal case, unfortunately. But I do think if you got a different judge, you might have gotten different results, you know? Hey, Pepper. I mean, I get it. That's why I say, like, I get the understanding of, like, safety issues now and all of those things. It's just frustrating for those of us that want to, like, some people want to watch it just to be an asshole, you know? Some people want to watch it just to, like, criticize everything and just be a jerk and make fun of people. I want to watch it just like other people want to watch it to, like, watch every facet of it, as I've done in many other trials. If you want to see the jury, you want to see the judge, you want to see the defendant, you want to see the victim's family, you want to see all of it, the whole thing. It is fascinating. Sorry, we were buffering. It is fascinating to watch it play out in real time. You know, absolutely fascinating. Yeah, so the district attorney is the one, or the ADA would be the one to stop a case or, say we're going to drop said charges, but a judge can't stop a criminal case. The judge has to continue on with it. There were some things that the judge could have done that the judge didn't do that I agree should have been done. She could have sanctioned those lawyers, and she didn't. She could have kept control of our courtroom, and she didn't. So there were a lot of things that and I'll tell you this, just from so many trials being covered, I don't think any other judge in any other state would have allowed Marie Russell to testify as an expert. You are not qualified as an expert simply because you used to be a cop 30 years ago and you were an ER doctor. So now you've seen dog bites and you've read about them. So now you're a complete expert in dog bites. And also, let's remember that forensic odontology has been dubbed junk science for over a decade now, right? For various reasons and various problems with forensic odontology. All right. There's a reason, and that's the science of bites in general, not just dog bites, but human bites, right? And after the Bundy trial, there was a lot of issue with, well, they're using these sort of impressions, fake ones, to put sort of marks on the body of the victim and then say, oh, that this is the impression of Bundy's mouth that came from that. So there were a lot of problems with it, forensic odontology, and they did many studies that showed that it is just junk science, which is why you don't really see it used anywhere. And so to use someone who admittedly said, well, I'm just excited about dog bites And I'm just interested in dog bites. And I've read many books, and I used to be an ER doctor, and I was a cop. And one time at band camp, we took this class that had 17 other things in it, but they talked about dog bites for like 3 minutes. Yeah, police dog bites. Not the same. It's not the same bite. It's not the same type of pattern at all. I don't know any other judge that would have said, cool, Marie Russell, go ahead and testify as an expert. In my humble opinion, she was not an expert. She was not qualified to testify about anything that had anything to do with dog bites. And also, she could not explain a lot of things, which, I mean, goes to show why you wouldn't dub somebody an expert just because they're interested in and they read books on it. That would make most of you experts on whatever your hobbies are, or what. I mean, could I be an expert on jails, since I worked in a prison and our private company took over? So the Department of Corrections officers were fired and we took their positions, right? So we didn't work for the state. We worked for a private company who worked for the state. So we were contractors of the state. So we didn't get the CO title, but that's literally what we did. We did the exact same job as them. So me working in a prison, right? Having that background in mental health and the prison system, and me being very educated on the law, does that make me a expert in prisons or mental health prisons? If that's the threshold, everyone would be an expert for something, right? And that's why most judges would not have said, okay, sure, we will qualify you as an expert. Again, especially because forensic odontology has been found to be junk science for over a decade now. Well over a decade now. Probably closer to 2 or 3. Oh, conspiracy dog walk. I don't mind a cool day, but it's getting awfully cold around here, and I am not a fan. I am not a fan of the cold. I am not. It's like 30 something here. I'm not, or it was this morning. I am not a fan. Listen, I want to hear it too. Believe me. So if we can get it, we will, I am so jealous, Christy. I'm just saying. I'm a little jelly belly, The house is cozy, hence why I'm wearing a short sleeve shirt. Sometimes too cozy. I can't. So here's a fun fact, right? I cannot put my heat lower than 70 because it shuts off. Make it make sense, okay? I put my heat on 68, 67, and it shuts the entire heat off, so then it gets freezing in here. So I have to keep it at 70 or it shuts off. And 70 is too hot. So t-shirts and tank tops it is in the house because otherwise it's too cold. There's no goddamn happy medium, but I guess that's what a fan is for. You know what I'm saying? I want to visit Canada one day. One day. It'll be fun. Like I said, one of my favorite TV shows, The 100, was filmed mostly in Canada. No, yeah, I get that. I agree with you. It's definitely ruined it for others. I don't know. We have it right here. It's scheduled for Boston 10 News. So I don't know. We'll find out, We will find out. It's Holly catches us, and it is super duper early morning for her. She's a champ for being here. And I always forget that a lot of you, because for people from all over the world. Sorry, we were freezing again for a second. That you guys have such big gaps in time, and I just want to say I appreciate you guys who come here when it is such a different time where you live in whatever country you're in, to just come here and hang out, because at 4:30 in the morning where Holly is. You are a champ, Holly. No one else would have done it. I'm just saying. Death unknown. Spencer LaFranco. Well, that's sad to hear. Yes, he's in Canada. He is in Canada. Yeah, it's 12:30 p.m. here. So, yeah, that one time at band camp, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, you definitely are, though. Like, I would consider you definitely being someone who would be an expert on dog bites because you literally deal with that on a daily basis. You know what I mean? Like that makes more sense to me to have somebody like that be a dog bite expert, you know? To be considered an expert, you need to put in 10 years and at least 10K hours. It just doesn't make sense to me how they could, you know, how they could do that. It didn't, right? And I don't know of another judge that would have certified that to happen, you know? Yeah, we were talking about Biker's Bike yesterday. I love that. Right? Could he be an expert in furniture maybe? Or, you know, how a hole could get there or at what angle? You know what I mean? That's just not the way it works. Usually, there were so many weird things that I would have never expected when it came to that trial, you know? You know what I'm saying? If that's the case, we're all an expert in something, even you know? I mean, that's a crazy part. It just didn't make sense. I'm not a fan of Canoni. I just she didn't have control over her courtroom. I can't. I literally can't, you know? Well, yeah, but when you're an expert, it's not your personal experience. It's supposed to be down to what the science or data shows you. And you're supposed to do some sort of testing that can show how you got to that answer. And that was one of the arguments that the prosecution brought into this was, well, we have no way to dispute what she's saying because she doesn't have a formula to get to the answer that she gave. It's just what she thinks could have happened because she said so. That's not usually how an expert gets into a case. It's definitely not how they're cross-examined because you have to have some sort of science or data showing how you got to that answer. She did not have that, and that was one of the problems. And one of the very large problems, in my opinion. That's why you don't put someone like that into a court case. You just don't, you know? I love that. His channel, you can put in his @ right here, his @ right there, or you can search Peggy Hill and it should pop up with that. See his little picture right there next to his name. That should pop up on his YouTube channel, and you can just hit the button there and subscribe to his channel. We a bunch of us did that yesterday to try to help him out. You know, he's got a small channel, like I got a small channel, and I'm always willing to help other people out. You know, with whatever it is that they're, you know, they're trying to do on YouTube. Tucked in? I would love to be tucked in. That'd be amazing. My husband has the day off, and I would have loved to just tuck myself back into bed with him. Oh, I am so jealous. 67 degrees. See, I refuse to decorate for Christmas until after my birthday and Thanksgiving. After that, I love you, but I hate you right now because I am jelly. I will take the 69 degrees. It's gas heat. Gas heat, unfortunately. Yeah, time does equal experience and expertise, but usually the standard for being an expert in a court is you have to show how you got to the answer that you got to so that they can cross-examine you on the methods that you use to do that. She didn't have a method, you know? Oh, I'm glad we could help. I'm glad we could help. Well, geez, I mean, fuck. A lot of people probably passed that a long time ago, you know? Oh my God, that would be hilarious. Can you imagine that? If Karen turned around and sued Aiden? Oh my God. I would die laughing. I feel like for that, I would just immediately get out a confetti cannon and just pull the thing. Like, confetti cannon everywhere. That would be the best thing ever. I guess so. I guess she's filling in. I mean, I get it. She knows the history of the case, but I'm not a fan. Just saying. I'm just not. I'm just not. There isn't a red dot saying I'm live. What in the hell? What in the Sam's hell? King of the Hill style. What in the Sam's hell? Yeah, I can't do the Christmas music. Okay. I can't do it already. All right. Can we get through that? I keep saying, like, let me get through Thanksgiving and then my birthday, and then I will do Christmas. I promise. Like, let me get through next Friday, and then, after the weekend, like after Sunday, like I'll start putting things up on my older kid's birthday, the first. That's the day that I can start doing Christmas stuff. I am not doing Christmas before that. That is why we have a fall background. You see my fall background? It is not Christmas yet. We're skipping Thanksgiving. All right. Thanksgiving, fun fact, is my husband's favorite holiday for whatever reason. Hi, Matt. But I am with you on that, my friend. I am literally with you. I am not a fan of the winter, man. I'm just not. Oh, yeah, but it makes them happy, so it makes you happy. If my kids pushed, I would do it too, but they don't, thank God. And I have a pink Christmas tree, so, everything's got to coordinate. I'm with you, Matt. I hate the cold. I hate the heat. I like a good middle ground, like a good middle ground. Oh, I don't either. I mean, and I'm not skinny anymore. I'm not fat, but I'm not skinny. And like, I hate the cold. I hate it. What would Karen Read sue Aiden for? Oh, a lot. There's a lot she could sue him for. There is a lot. Specifically, defamation. She could intentional emotional infliction of harm. She could sue him for trying to blackmail her, trying to she could sue him for a bunch of different things. Trying to give her like ultimatum, like you do this or I'm going to do this. That's blackmail, right? And especially if you add money into that, then you're into another legal realm, right? There's quite a few things that she could sue him for. I always need clothes. Always. I always need clothes because I don't spend money on clothes for myself. I just don't. It's the kids, you know what I mean? So I don't ever buy clothes for myself. So clothes is definitely something I always need. That's why there's clothes on my wish list, because it's like always need clothes. You do not. Are the dogs trying to eat your ornaments? I need to know. Yeah, I would have been happy not seeing her at all. Oh no, that's no good. My sister just found out my nephew was grinding his teeth at night. You're totally welcome, my friend. Tell me the dogs are trying to eat your ornaments, because I feel like they are very curious and they might do that. You have a red dot? It's going year round. Oh, right. 73. I think that would be perfect, right? Just 73 year round with a nice cool breeze every once in a while. Oh, that would be perfect. The wiretapping. Yep. She could push that too. But that entire recording makes them both look bad. So I don't think you'll ever see that. Extortion. Yes. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you. Yes. Oh my God. All I Want for Christmas Is You. Yeah. That one's like the first song besides Jingle Bells that pops into my head. I didn't go to law school, unfortunately. I would have loved to, but my life did not take that turn. But law has been a passion of mine for a really, really long time. Most people know that ever since I was a witness on the stand at the age of 12-ish. I think it was 11 or 12. I believe I was 12. That was like something that I knew that I wanted to do. Like, that is what I wanted to do, is be a lawyer. And that's just not the way that my life went for various reasons. But I kept up with, every new Supreme Court decision. Been a volunteer advocate now for almost 20 years. And so I'm pretty well educated. I mean, don't ask me about, real estate law, other than like air rights and some other random things. Real estate law is not in my realm. Landlord tenant law, I know a lot of. If not all, lots of family law, divorce, because I've been through one, things like that, criminal law, but don't ask me about real estate law. No idea. No freaking idea. Oh, you haven't fluffed it yet? I mean, it's definitely stuff y'all can definitely look into yourselves too. Probably, but I'm still going to answer the question. You know what I mean? Because you can be as facetious as you want, right? you can look all of this stuff up yourself and check. You know what I'm saying? You can check what I'm saying. You can check yourself and go and look and see if what I'm saying is true. You know? Oh, that's kind of cool. I'm gonna have to. I don't know if they have those for kids though. You know? Oh no, you're not alone, my friend. You are not alone. I wonder if they have them for kids too. That would be like a game changer for my sister and my nephew. Um, it does take too long though. It's gonna take me a while to fluff mine as well because you got to pull out all the branches, but it's gonna look beautiful when it's done. Oh, you're Maine. I love Maine. I love it. You know, I remember last year it was like 70 degrees on Halloween. This year it was cold and it had a cold breeze too. While we were walking, I'm like, wow, it is cold. You know? I'd rather listen to death metal than Mariah. Oh yeah, see I've been waking up with a headache lately too, but it's definitely not from that, unfortunately. I think mine's just from my medication. And to be honest, these bright lights that I have, but I don't have a choice. I need them. It's like, do I need to start wearing sunglasses or something? I take it over Mariah Carey. I love it. That's hilarious. Yeah, I that's why I just asked Life of a Doggo Girl, did her dogs eat it yet? Because she's got curious dogs. And I know they would probably love to play with the ornaments on the tree, you know. I could never give up my tree. That's my like one happy place for Christmas is the way my tree looks, you know. It's a pink tree. Wallflower got me a new one. I didn't have my old one I had for years. It broke when we moved, and so now I got a new one. But I have this beautiful black shimmery tree skirt, and so I usually do purple, silver, white, and black, and some like darker pink ornaments, and it usually looks beautiful along with my, you know, ornaments that my kids have either made or bought in over the years that we put on, or, you know, sometimes I'll buy ones with the letters of their name and stuff like that. And so those ones also go on the tree, of course. But it usually comes out really good. Now what I have to do is attempt to try to get wrapping paper that are match. I never get wrapping paper that's going to match. I really want just the purple, black, white, and silver, like solid, or even like those colors mixed together wrapping paper, but it never works out that way. Never works out that way. Just usually looks like a ridiculous rainbow under there. But it would be really nice to like coordinate. You know what I'm saying? Mike Crawford sings. I don't know. Does he? Does Mike sing? MGK. I'll take MGK any day. I was listening to him long before he was like mainstream. He was only on YouTube at that point, way back in the early 2000, like 10, 11, maybe. You know, Italian Christmas donkey. No idea. Cannot answer that question. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that. Oh, I bet. I could use a little slimming. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Oh, holy night. Well, maybe that's what it is. I don't know. It's a landlord issue. I'd have to ask my landlord. I feel like because they can set it. I mean, here's the thing. If they were paying for it, they'd be allowed to set it to a place like that. And maybe they included it in the rent previous to me living here, but it's not included in the rent now. And so it's my money. And so it's annoying when I'm turning it down past 70 and it's shutting the heat off completely. It has to be at 70 for it to stay on, which is just weird to me. You know? Weird. Yeah, maybe blue light, but I don't see, that's the thing. It's not the computer lights that's giving me a headache. It's the spotlights that I have over here. If I shut these lights off, it'll be dark in here because the light in this room is not bright enough. So I would be much darker for you guys to see. So I have these sort of spotlights that you would use to stream. And I think it's those lights, which is why I kind of turned this one a little because it's not right in my eye, but they're very bright. And I think it's part of giving me a headache. I also think I need to up my prescription for my contacts, and I haven't been able to do that yet because my eye doctor has been booked for months. And so they're trying to basically squeeze me in when someone else like calls in. So I need to do that too. And I think that's probably part of it as well. Oh, yeah. See, that's the thing. When I worked in retail, I'll never work in retail again, but working in retail is where you hear the Christmas music like months early, and it literally drives you bananas. You're like, no, I can't. I can't listen to this anymore. Someone please change it. And you can't because it's like a satellite thing, and it just plays the same songs over and over. And you're like, oh my God, I can't wait to go home or get in my car and turn something else on, back then. I clench. I don't grind, but I do clench my jaw sometimes. But I also like stop breathing in my sleep. It's like a sleep apnea thing, which I probably need an apnea machine for. I don't have one, but I probably need one for it. It's also part of PTSD. I get like night terrors still, if that makes sense. Oh, the Broadway singer. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's the thing. Botox for migraines is a real thing, guys. It actually is. Oh my God, that's such a good movie. 8 Crazy Nights. It's a good movie. It's funny. The limit switch can be faulty or it could be a sensor. I thought that too. I was like, maybe it's a sensor that's shutting it off at a certain thing that it's set to, because they can do that if they're paying for it, but they're not. I am. So, you know, aw, I enjoy having you all in here because we can literally talk about anything and I'll have a good time. And I love that. And I love that. But I have heard that Botox does help. I get migraines every once in a while. They used to be a lot more frequent. But that was something that I heard from my doctor a long while back, probably 2 years ago, where it was just coming out that they were doing like Botox for headaches. And I'm like, okay, but how would that work? Is that like going to make your face like crazy in one spot, like in your temples like that? I don't know how, I don't know. It's not just for wrinkles. They use it medically for a lot of different things. A lot of different things. Indoor tinted glass. Not a bad idea. Light definitely will not help, but I honestly think mine is from my medication because that's one of the side effects, and the lights. And definitely I need to up my prescription for my contacts. I can tell that it needs to be upped. I'm freaking almost blind, I'm telling you. Bite your lips in your sleep. Some people bite their tongues, their lips. My face is like breaking out and I can feel it. And I'm like, what is going on? I'm about to be 39. And I'm like, all of a sudden in the last year, I mean, I do have psoriasis now, and rosacea makes my cheeks like red. But what is the deal with me just breaking out randomly like I'm a teenager or something? Like that is not something that I've ever really had to deal with. But in the last year, that's been the case. It's weird. Yeah, see, I think I need one. They do use Botox for bladders as well. Yep, they do. Yeah, I'm not, me, I wake up like a million times a night. And I don't bother, like you said, I don't bother taking any of those because they don't work. I tried that for years. And with PTSD, I can't sleep all night long. I just can't. I just wake up every couple hours, sometimes every hour. And it's unfortunate, but there's nothing I can do about it. And I just don't get good sleep. So then by the time I'm up the next day, I feel like I'm always tired. Always, always freaking tired. I've tried everything: iron, magnesium, the whole shebang, it just nothing helps. And I think, unfortunately, that's a symptom of those of us who have PTSD, or in my case, CPTSD. And maybe over time it'll get better. I mean, other than that, I've tried pretty much everything you can think of to try to keep me asleep. Falling asleep is okay. I can fall asleep. It's keeping me asleep that is the problem. Night sweats, yeah, those are horrible. I get them too. Ooh, a cooling blanket. Are those a thing? I need to know more about this cooling blanket thing. I need to know. Limit switch is a safety feature, not something the limit sets to control the temperature. Oh, well, I know that there is something they can set to control the temperature. I've had it in other apartments when it's been included in the rent and you can't turn it past a certain thing or it won't do anything, or up past a certain thing because it won't do anything. I just assumed that like maybe that's what it was. I'm not an HVAC person, clearly. Not my stuff. Automotive, sure, let's talk. HVAC, not so much. Not so much. I could listen. I have been tucking the blanket in between my legs because I am so hot when I sleep and I'm waking up in a puddle of sweat. Like, what is happening? Right? Cooling blanket, that's a thing. I need to look into that. That needs to go on my wish list. I'm just saying. I need a cooling blanket. Although I do love a cozy blanket to watch a movie with. I'm just saying. But I also would love a cooling blanket if that thing exists. Is that a unicorn? Does it exist? You know what I'm saying? I've tried iron. Didn't do anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even that old, god damn it. My body feels like it is, but I'm really not. I'm really not. I'll be the big 40 next year. I mean, I haven't even turned 39 yet. I still get a week. I mean, 21, durr. 21. Hello. It's my 21st birthday on Friday. Durr. Hello. Obviously. The sidebars are certain. Yeah. I sent in an email the other day, so I'll check it later on. I'll probably have an answer, but they're probably going to charge an arm and a leg for those, but we'll see. You know, that's what it is because I'm turning 21. I'm breaking out everywhere because I'm turning 21. Duh. Shh. You say such evil things. You don't say those evil words, my friend. 21. You wrote it right. You wrote 40. 21. 21 every year. 21. God damn it. 2-1. Hey, Dougie. It's nice to see you. I've always had low iron. Right? Me too, dude. I don't think that's the case. Girl, 70's the new 50. All right? That's what they tell me. Right? A cooling blanket? This is a thing. I need to know this. I need to. I need to hear about this. I need to put this on my wish list. It needs to be a thing. Oh my gosh. Yeah, night sweats. I get them too. That's the other problem is falling back to sleep after you've woken up. That takes me a while and it's a pain because when you're waking up multiple times a night, then you feel like in the morning you didn't sleep at all. You know what I mean? The rain and thunder sounds are the only thing that helps me stay asleep for as long as I can. Funny you say that. I've been talking about that for a long time, but it's literally the only thing that keeps me in a deeper sleep so that I can sleep the longest that I can. It's the only thing that I've found that actually works to keep me asleep some of the time, you know, for as long as my body will allow without waking up. I never make it throughout the night, but it's the longest sleep I get is with those rain sounds and thunderstorms for whatever reason. Yeah, I used to get iron shots. That's how low my iron was at one point in my life. So see, this is the stuff you guys are smarter than me in. This is why it's a community, right? We got to know someone knows, right? Heating tech, perfect. See, I wouldn't know shit about any of that, you know? I love you say your drummer friend. My dad was a drummer, so that's why there's a little set of drums on this. You guys probably can't see it, but it's literally my dad owned a very chunky cross like this that he wore every day. And my dad was a drummer in a band basically his entire life. I still have videos of my dad playing the drums, which is awesome. But there's a little drum etched onto the front of this with 2 drumsticks. And it holds, most of you know, his ashes inside there. And so when I picked it out, I scrolled probably like 5 pages before this popped up. And I was like, I immediately knew. I was like, that's the one. That is the one that I want. That is the one that I want. Yeah, if you do it under your tongue, it goes directly into your bloodstream because there's, thing right underneath your tongue. Amazon is cooling blankets. Shut the hell up. I need to know about this. Leah, we need to get these cooling blankets. The iron protocol. I'm going to have to look that up too. Yeah, sublingual. That's what it's called. Under the tongue is sublingual. I love it. Yeah, heavy rain. Or I like the thunderstorms. I'm not gonna lie, I do. I like them. Right? Cooling everything. I need cooling sheets, cooling blankets, twinning. Well, I definitely know it's part of medications, but I do think lately it's been worse. So, and I'm breaking out. So that tells me hormones maybe because I'm old. I do too. I have to, you know? It does help. And also, the other reason I did it is because I have tinnitus. So it's a ringing in your ear. And that used to drive me bananas. It's very distracting when you're trying to focus on something, watch TV, watch anything. And you can't because all you can hear is the ringing in your ear. And so my ear, nose, and throat doctor recommended that I try the rain sounds or like jungle sounds or beach sounds, like something like that. And my dad used to have a CD when I was a kid that had rain sounds, beach sounds, like that he used to play in the house all the time at nighttime to get my little sisters to fall asleep. And so immediately when my ear, nose, and throat doctor said that, I thought to myself, that's my immediate thought was my dad used to play that CD. Maybe that was why, right? It was very soothing. And I started playing it, and it would drown out the tinnitus, the ringing in my ear, enough for me to fall asleep. And so I've been using it pretty much ever since. Once in a while, I'll just fall asleep because I'm so tired and I'll not put it on. But my husband most nights will put the remote next to me when he falls asleep so that if I wake up, I can just pop it on and go back to sleep, which is nice. I was glancing at X earlier. There's a sidebar transcript about Alessi making faces at the jury. Are some transcripts? Yeah, so some transcripts are out. Someone else sued for them, and I'm sure they have copies of some of them already. The judge literally just signed off on them being released. So I didn't sue for them. So, it's going to take me a little longer to get them. Apparently, I think I remember something about him making faces to the jury and then the judge having to say something to him about making faces to the jury. But I also thought there was one point where Mr. Reed was spoken to about looking at the jury too. I am Xing that I don't get pneumonia this year. I've had it every year and around the time of my birthday, and I do not want it. And I do not want it. Ooh, cricket sounds. I didn't think of that. I didn't think of that. Always a pleasure. I didn't think about the cricket sounds. Yeah, mine was pretty bad a long time ago. Lava sounds? I didn't know that was a thing. That is kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, she found a she found a cooling blanket. She found a cooling blanket. How much time we got left on this Ladberry here? 50, still at 56 minutes. Is this real life? Okay. Well, since that's gonna take a while, what we'll do then is, well, first and foremost, I am an hour and 10 minutes in and I still haven't done this yet. So let's do this first. Beep, beep. If you would like to donate to the channel, there's more than one way to do so. You can hit the like button. That's helping to support. You can hit the share button. That's helping to support. Now, YouTube sent me an email yesterday saying this hype thing is very important for small creators. The smaller the creator, the more the points when someone hypes your video after it's live, like when we're not live anymore. So apparently, having your viewers hit the hype button on your videos when they're not right after they're not live anymore is actually a big thing where it's supposed to help smaller creators get more, I don't know, noticed, seen, chances for people to click on your video. I don't know. But I got an email yesterday saying that your viewers can do it up to 3 times a week for free. And it can just hit the hype button and it gives you so many points per hype or whatever. But that's like a thing apparently that helps smaller creators. So if you all wouldn't mind, that would be a huge help. You can do it on any of the videos right now that aren't live, or this video when I'm not live anymore. I think it takes like 5 or 10 minutes when I'm not live anymore, and then you can hit the hype button. But you can do it up to 3 times a week for free to hype a channel, which I didn't know what it really meant. They didn't really send us anything to tell us like what hyping really meant, but that's apparently a thing now. So just so everyone knows. But those are the quick, easy, free ways to support the channel, and we always appreciate it. Watching is one quick, easy way to help support the channel. We always appreciate that. And then there are the monetary ways that you can help support the channel. We have Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Revolut, Chime. We have a link for credit and debit. It's in the description. It's pinned to the top of the chat right now. We have a wish list, and that wish list is thank you, Standing. I appreciate your donation, your super chat, your truth bomb. And we have a sound for the truth bombs that come in. We sure do. We got a sound. Kablooey for those truth bombs. But I always say super chats, super stickers, memberships. Make sure to get your membership before Christmas Eve. We have a Christmas Eve late night pajama party that we're going to do. It's going to be fun. It's just going to be a fun Christmas Eve sort of hangout, right? No one's going to feel alone. It's all going to be fun and good spirits. And it's going to be a blast. It's going to be a freaking blast. So make sure you get all that in order so you can join us for that. Yeah, so we have Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Revolut, and then we have the link to debit or credit. We have that's what it is. I have an Amazon wish list, but it's private. We have a public one, but there's only like, I don't know, 6 or 7 things on it. We have a private one because, well, trolls were messing with it. And we had to call Amazon, have Amazon do an investigation. They had to flag these accounts that kept messing with my wish list and pulling everything off of it without buying anything so that no one else could see it. It was a whole rigmarole because apparently people are that bored in their lives. So the wish list is private now with all of the stuff on. We have one public one that has just a few things on it, but the private one we have. So you can ask me or any of my mods for the link to the private one and we will happily give it to you. You can email me. Anyone can email me. I made this clear yesterday because I don't think people knew. I'm going to put my email in chat for you guys. You can email me anytime you want. I do get back to everyone. It might take me about a day sometimes, but usually I'm pretty quick. Usually it's within a couple hours. Once in a while, a day. You know, I only take Saturdays off. So normally, unless you're like texting me personally, you probably are not going to hear from me on a Saturday because it's the only day that I sort of just put the phone away and spend it with my family and just not bother with anything social media really related other than checking my messages in the morning when I'm having my coffee. Other than that, Saturdays are days for my family. Hold on one second, guys. Okay, sorry. That was an important call and I had to have my husband do something. So, all right. Okay. All right. Now that that part's over. All right. Whew. My God. I can't today. My brain. Because guys, remember that every time I say my brain, it goes back to that commercial. I think it was a 90s commercial. Yes, that 90s commercial where it's like, this is your brain on drugs. And it's like a lady with a frying pan and an egg, and she like smashes the egg into like a billion. Every time I say my brain or I hear someone else say my brain, for some reason, my brain automatically goes to that commercial from the 90s. That's like, this is your brain on drugs. And she just like smashes the crap out of the egg. Like, don't ask me why. Maybe it scared me as a kid. I don't know. I don't know. Old TV commercials. Where's the beef? Do you guys remember that one? That one's a really old one. That one's even before my time, but tell me why I remember it, okay? So that's the other thing. We have so frustrating. Okay. That's a good point. We have yet to hear who the father is of the baby. I don't know. I'm really not sure. All right. Yeah, I would we haven't gotten the answer to that yet. Thank you again, Standing Stones. We appreciate your super chat, my friend. Search for 10 age of volcanic eruption sound. I'm gonna have to because now I am intrigued, Dunya. I am intrigued. I mean, I guess Bev's taking over for today. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know. I literally have no idea. No clue whatsoever. But that's a good question. I would like to know. Sandra Birchmore's baby. We don't know who the dad of her baby would have been. But it would be nice to know if maybe the brother was or if another officer was involved in that, you know? Don't tell my wife. I will not, I promise. You can tell her if she catches you that I very well appreciate it. And it goes to, basic everyday living items. Toilet paper, paper towels, food, bills. Well, that's the thing, right? Could it have been his brother? Could it have been Divine? Who? It's a good question, Could have been a good question. Whoa, my friggin' comments just went all the way down for no reason. What in the hell? Oh my God. The tech issues that I'm having today are like, what in the hell? It's not just me, right? It's not just me with the old commercials. I'm just saying that's what happens. And I just think of that commercial. I mean, I feel like if I even attempt to play it, they're going to give me a copyright strike, but like, I guess so what happens is they make you trim it out later on and they'll say, oh, copyright strike, but you can trim this portion out. So I guess it's worth trimming it out if we can just like see the This Is Your Brain on Drugs commercial that I'm talking about. Because I'm just saying. It's the commercial. Let's see. Oh my God, it pops right up. Here it is. I freaking found it. This one's a guy, though. I remember one with a girl, not a guy. Maybe this is the one. Partnership for a Drug-Free America. Oh, here it is. I found it. I found the original. All right. Hold on. Oh, for the love of God. What the heck? Oh. Ready.
This is your brain. And this is heroin. This is what happens to your brain after snorting heroin.
She just smashed your brain.
This is what your body goes through. Wait, it's not over yet. This is what your family goes through. Your friends and mine. And your job. And your future. And your life. Any questions?
Any questions? No. No questions, Rachel Lee Cook. Then there was the older guy, this one.
Is there anyone out there who still isn't clear about what doing drugs does? Okay, last time. This is your brain. This is drugs.
This is your brain on drugs.
This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
I mean, how do you remember that? 15, 20, 25? Like how many? You remember that one? The one I just showed you with the guy, that one's like the original. The Rachel Lee Cook one where she just starts smashing everything. For some reason, that's the one that just sticks into my head. This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. This is what you do to your family. This is what you do to your body. Any questions? Yeah, no, I don't got no questions. No questions. Oh, is that what it was that they updated it? I'm like, what in the goddamn hell? The 10 o'clock one, though. If you lived here in Boston, and I don't know if it was just Boston, right? But a lot of us for the news, it would be, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? WB 56. Like, I'll never forget. I was preteen, just getting into teen at that age. Let me see if it shows up. Yeah, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? But it was WB 56. Let me see if I can do this. WB 56, because that's what it was here. Maybe this doesn't look familiar, but it's 11 o'clock. This one, that was Buffalo. 11 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? Do you know where your children are?
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
That wasn't the one that we used to see. Ours was WB 56, and it was like, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? WB 56. The Where's the Beef lady, though. If you don't know the Where's the Beef one, oh my God, that lady. I'm telling you. Girl Interrupted. I used to love that movie. It was a good movie, okay? That was a good movie. Okay, the Where's Your Beef lady has like a million Where's Your Beef commercials, but they are all equally funny. The answer is no, they did not cook her anything.
When you drive to Wendy's and order a single, you get more beef than the Whopper or the Big Mac. At Wendy's, you never have to ask, where's the beef?
The beef. Used to be ones where she would just scream, where's the beef?
Yes, we know it's a big fluffy
Talk
bun.
to the manager.
It is the manager.
Where's the beef?
He's putting us under the supervisor.
If you ask me, which you didn't, we should call the owner.
At Wendy's, the hamburger we modestly call a single has more beef than the Big Mac or Whopper.
We've got the owner.
Hello? Where's the beef?
Wendy's.
Just scream, where's the beef? But shit was hilarious. It's what's for dinner.
Another day is drawing to a close,
Guess
and all
what?
kinds.
It's what's for dinner. The Where's the Beef lady, though? Oh man, like they did one, I think, during the Super Bowl. I can't remember. Oh God, I can't remember what commercial that was, but they did one for the Super Bowl. And they recreated the Where's the Beef, and it was freaking hilarious. But the Where's the Beef lady, man, I can't. It was funny, especially when they recreated it. It was even funnier then. This was the 40th anniversary, I guess. I don't know. It looks the same to me, but being streamed out of
It certainly is a big bun.
It's a very big bun.
Big, fluffy bun.
It's a very big fluffy bun.
That's what they look like right
Where's
now.
the beef?
Some hamburger places give you a lot less beef on a lot of bun.
Where is it?
Where's the beef?
At Wendy's, we serve a hamburger we modestly call a single. And Wendy's single has more beef than the Whopper or Big
What?
Mac. At Wendy's,
Pick
you get
up.
more beef and
I
less
mean, put on the
bun.
box.
Hey, where's the beef? I don't think there's anybody back there.
You want something better. You're Wendy's kind of people.
Fun fact standing. Maureen Hancock watches our show. It's a fun fact. So I have seen her doing the Auntie Bev one. She's quite funny. But fun fact, Maureen Hancock watches my show. And I think she's hilarious, by the way, when she does the little Auntie Bev things. But that's a fun fact for you guys to know that she watches our show. She enjoys our show. We appreciate that, Maureen. And I love her impressions of the judge. They are absolutely on point. Sorry, my leg is itchy. Psoriasis and all, it's itchy. And and they're on point. Like she's so funny. But she is a famous psychic from the area, and anybody I know, I've always wanted to go see her. That's on my bucket list. Oh, I broke another nail. On my bucket list is to see Maureen Hancock. I have so many spirits, in my opinion, that just, loved ones who passed, people I know who passed, that sort of just follow me everywhere. That I'm telling you, I would probably overwhelm the poor lady if I went to see her, but I've always wanted to, because anybody I know who has had a reading with Maureen has, even as it's skeptical, came out, being like, there's no way she could have known X, Y, and Z. And so I've always wanted to go see Maureen and see who would pop through or what she would be able to pick up on. So I think that's awesome that you're going to go see her. You're going to have to tell me about how it went. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Anybody I know that ever gets tickets and is able to go absolutely loves it and has a great time. So you're going to have to, fill us in. Has a Fed said she was murdered? Yeah. So they have. I know they had an outside doctor come in to go over the earlier autopsy that they said was a suicide. Is it official changed? Yes, it was officially changed. That they do not believe it was a suicide. They believe it was a homicide and that he strangled her. That is officially the argument that the federal government is making. The state hasn't charged her, and I think because the feds already are, it's kind of like you could charge him if you wanted on the state level, but the feds already are, so it's kind of like, why bother? You know what I mean? Why spend and waste that money when the feds have more? Oh my God, my grandmother used to call it the idiot box, Sam. That's so funny. But yes, the state hasn't charged, and my inclination would be because the feds have. So it really doesn't make sense for the state to, while the feds are. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense for them to do that. Hold on a second. I gotta change this over back to that. SNL or Mad TV. Anybody remember Mad TV? Hey, Mindy. I didn't either because I was with my friends, but I would fall asleep. I'd have the TV on to fall asleep, which is probably why I still need it on to fall asleep now. And that stupid commercial would always come on, like right as I was falling asleep. It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? WB 56. Yeah, it was Judge O'Shea, and now Judge Cannoni, I guess. I don't know. Oh, it came from Fox. Here it was 10 o'clock. Yeah, there was one that was 11 o'clock, but that wasn't here. We got 10 o'clock. It was 11 o'clock other places, but here in Massachusetts, in Boston, it was 10 o'clock. You might be, all stations in New York played it at 10 p.m. sharp. Yeah, it was always right at 10 p.m. sharp. Always. Listen, I'm with you on that. I don't understand why they would do that. Why they would do that to us. Is it like a form of torture? I don't understand. I don't understand. Possibly forgot it. I did not hear this. Just being nosy, but thank you. Pickup, though, you mean drop off? Because pickup would be, unless they had a half a day. Do they have a half a day, maybe? See, Jesse did one in 2009. Yeah, Maureen watches the show, and we appreciate it very much. And she does look like the judge, and I love her impressions. I think they're absolutely hilarious, and I love her just in general. I'm a fan of Maureen Hancock. I would love to go see her. That would be so much fun. And she does look like Judge Cannoni, which makes the impressions even funnier. No, he's in custody as far as I understand still. I love that. I love that. She has a place over in Bridgewater, I believe. Bridgewater, I think. Oops, sorry. Started in Atlanta when all the children were missing. Oh, that's sad. Oh, that's sad. As far as I understand, no, he's in custody. Love and light to you, Standing. I know, right? You needed a reminder to check on your kids? It's weird. Like, that's freaking weird. Weird to me. She might sell at the Wilbur. She could probably sell at the Wilbur really quickly, Play the Nutcracker Ritz cracker ad. Is it old? Two years ago? That's cute. It's like, have some Ritz and calm the F down, man. Kind of does look like you when you were little. Just saying. Definitely does look like you when you were little. Right, the claim to fame is the Wilbur. I mean, Maureen Hancock could probably solve the Wilbur in like 10 minutes, just saying. You had to definitely give some away, we know that. Oh my God, Miss Cleo. Who remembers the Miss Cleo ads? OMG. Do you think those still exist? Wasn't they found out that she was like scamming people? I don't remember, but I remember the commercials. Call Miss Cleo. I remember those. Oh my God, I found one. I freaking found one. Shut the hell up.
You have questions. I have the answers.
Who asked you to go out of town? The stupid young one or the married one? The married one. That's what I thought. Don't go. You hear me?
If you want him to believe that it's over, then you got to stop accepting the booty calls at 2 a.m. in the morning. You understand?
Yeah.
Could you tell me what type of direction is my life headed into?
Last 4 nights, your feelings have been hurt, so you've been up all night.
Yes.
You haven't been, and this is around the relationship.
Oh, talk about it.
Okay? Don't make me take you to church, young man. The ex is much better than the present one, you know. Did you think that you were pregnant a couple of months back?
Yes.
You were, but you lost it, correct?
Yeah.
The secret that you were holding back.
You already hit it. It was about the baby.
Michael, you really got yourself into trouble on that one, brethren. I got backup this time.
This person is that's around you right now has been in jail before.
Miss Cleo, man. This is the best of
You know,
Miss Cleo.
people have been criticized and jabbed at and talked about throughout the ages for having different beliefs. And apparently I am no exception. Although it is a constant challenge, I will continue. I will not allow them to stop me.
She will
I
not.
will teach as a shaman and help those who seek the knowledge.
She said. What she said. Oh my God, Miss Cleo. That is freaking hilarious. I can't believe those still exist. They had her rise and fall as a Lifetime movie. I can't believe they really did a Lifetime movie on Miss Cleo. Well, apparently they did, in case anybody's wondering. Miss Cleo, her rise and fall. That's apparently a thing. Someone call that number now. Oh my God, I love you guys. I mean, how many people actually thought about calling Miss Cleo back then, right? You're like, you know what? Maybe Miss Cleo can tell me what the is going on here. Like, you can't figure out life. It's kicking me in the ass. Maybe Miss Cleo can tell me what the hell is going on. Maybe that's... Oh my God, imagine. Imagine. Oh my goodness. That's hilarious. Oh, he definitely picks on everyone. That's definitely true. And his percentage is abysmal for what was happening. Rejection hotline. Oh my God. Who remembers the rejection hotline? I will tell you, I use the oh my God, it's embarrassing. I use that number probably more than I want to admit to give to poor guys that I just did not have the heart to say, listen, I'm not interested. Okay. Not interested. Sorry, not sorry. So there were quite a few times I gave out that rejection hotline number and hoped that they didn't just call me right away while I was still standing there. I was like, oh, just call me later. Like later, call me later. Oh my God. Call me later. Right. those poor guys, dude. I think about that now. Like, oh my God, you just brought back a memory that I'm like thinking about how many of those poor fucking pricks I gave that goddamn number to, because you could go online and get a number with your area code, right? And I think it still exists. I think it still exists. Let's see. If you don't know what the rejection hotline is, OMG. I don't know what the peach rejection hotline is, but it's. Let's see. Oh, look at that phone. House phone. Right? Ours was
Hello,
*67.
This is not the person you were trying to call. You've reached the rejection hotline provided by rejectionhotline.com. Unfortunately, the person who gave you this rejection hotline number did not want you to have their real number. We know this sucks, but don't be too devastated. So why were you given a rejection hotline number? Maybe you're just not this person's type. No, this could mean boring, dumb, annoying, arrogant, or just a general weirdo. Maybe you suffer from bad breath, body odor, or a nasty combination of the two. Maybe you just give off that creepy, overbearing psycho stalker vibe, and the idea of going out with you just seems as appealing as playing leapfrog with unicorns. Regardless of the reason, please take the hint, accept the fact that you're rejected, and then get over it. And please do your best to forget about the person who gave you this number, because trust us, they've already forgotten about you.
I can't. Oh my God, those poor guys I gave that number to. I literally can't. I can't. Oh my God. I think it still does exist. I think. I think. Why wouldn't it, right? And that's exactly what it said. Like exactly what it said. Imagine these. I can't. I'm so mean. I was young, okay? I didn't care. I didn't care, but I felt like that was less cruel than being like, no, right? But now that I think about it, that was probably more cruel than just saying not interested. I was young. Fuck, man. Like, I was young. And okay. Has anyone ever done this? I want to see hands raising if you've ever done this, right? You go to a bar with a dance club, right? And you're dancing with your girlfriends or your guy friends and all your girlfriends. Like you're dancing with your friends, right? You're dancing. Yeah, it might be because they're on a different platform. If they're on Facebook or X and I'm bringing the comment up, then you're not going to see it. But you're dancing in a club, right? Just put this in your mind, because I know most women have been through this, probably guys too. But you're dancing, right? You're in a club, you're dancing, you're having a good time. And all of a sudden, there's some dude or chick, right, that gets behind you that starts trying to dance with you. And you look behind yourself and you're like, oh, no, right? No, we're not doing this, right? So what I used to call it was the 2-hop jump out, right? So you would just give a little 2 hops over to turn around, right? And jump out over towards your friend so that the person is not back there anymore. She's like, no, weirdo. I'm not dancing with you. Not interested. And you just boop, boop, dance towards your friend and just hop out so that your butt is now facing your friends and your front is, you're like, get the hell away from me. Without saying, get the hell away from me. I mean, just saying, like, has anybody ever done that? I know I have. Oh my God, the press one, the party. What was the party hotline? The party line. Oh my God. You could just like listen in on the drama of people and it was hilarious. I never talked. I would just listen to people and be like, this is crazy. like, what the hell is going on? Do you have it on Top Chat too? It was such a good time, you know? Oh my God, shut up. That was part of your fraternity pledging. You had to like rate yourselves like hot or not hot. I can't. Us Gen X just hurt feelings. No fuck. I mean, to be fair, I didn't give fucks anyway. And I don't technically know. What am I? Am I Gen X? What gen am I? No idea. I have no idea. I'm like in that weird middle ground, I feel like. So I was born in 86, obviously. I'm going to be 39 on Friday. So what generation is that? Like, what is, I don't even know. I feel like I'm in like a middle ground. I feel like I was in a middle ground somewhere there. But yeah, we didn't give any fucks. We still probably don't give any fucks. You know what I'm saying? We probably still don't. We're kind of playing Never Have I Ever. Although if I ever played Never Have I Ever, I would probably lose, considering I've done a lot of probably things that I shouldn't have done. I'm just saying. Like that was it. But I used to hate that. They used to drive me. But you ever do, shimmy on out of that dance? You're like, no. This no. Like dude's got bad breath, or dude's just like, wacky inflatable tube man dancing. And you're like, what in the actual fuck is going on right now? And you're like trying not to be rude, but at the same time, you're like, I'm not fucking dancing with you, guy. Like, it's no, thank you. Like, oh my God, notes, folding them up like little footballs and just, you guys remember that? Oh my God. Oh, I definitely need to watch that then. That'd be hilarious. I used to love folding. I used to have a box before we had a flood. I had a box of just like notes, just filled with notes from friends that I kept. That some of them were just like funny inside joke ones. And I had an entire like shoebox just filled with them. Hot or Not website. There was a website? I can't. Oh, I can't. Millennial? Is that what it is? Am I a millennial? Nanya said you had to take a photo and creativity, WSA encouraged, and then post it. Then there was an event where all the ratings were unveiled with a keg. Oh my God. How? I don't know if I could do that. Millennial, just missed X by a few years. See, I feel like I'm just like in that weird middle, like X or millennial, like middle ground, right? Like best of both worlds, maybe a little bit. I mean, I don't think I would agree that the Idaho 4 was a psyop. I've spoken to the families, to Kaylee's family from the Idaho 4. Oh my God, light as a feather, stiff as a board. Who did that as a teenager? Light as a feather, stiff as a board. Get the Ouija board out. Hey, 7.2 is a respectable number, my friend. It sure is. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Is that kind of like the equivalent of rights? What is it? Right swipe or left swipe, right? That's what it is now, right? I've never done online dating. I've seen the jokes on like TikTok and all that, but I think it's like right swipe or left swipe, or I don't know which one goes to what, but isn't that like the equivalent of what that would have been back then, I guess, 1987, baby. That's right. That's right. That's freaking right. That's what I'm talking about, my friend. Yeah, I've never done that. I feel like, listen, even I told my kids, like, listen, no. F the online nonsensical crap. All right. Go out, meet someone. That's how you do it. Go do something that you enjoy doing, or go out with friends. You'll meet someone. It'll happen. Like, it'll happen when you're not even looking for it. That's how it works. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't look for it. When you look for it, it ends badly. Don't look for it. Wait for it to just happen. That's what I did. After many, you got to kiss a lot of frogs to get to your prince. And, I had a lot of frogs. I think the old fashioned way is better. Just saying. Anybody can put whatever they want online in a profile. You know what I'm saying? If you actually get to know them, you get to know whether it's the truth or not. I feel like that online dating shit's for the birds, God damn it. It's for the new drone pigeons. It's for the drone pigeons. You know what I mean? My God, MASH. Mansion, apartment, shack, house. Oh my God, I freaking love that. AOL. You've got mail. Who had an AIM? Who went online on their little AIM after school and got in the chat rooms with their friends? Dial up. Oh my God, I can't. In Target. I love it. I love it. In line. I freaking love it. It's amazing. Yeah, the dial up. I'd have to like use your phone line to get onto the internet. I lived with my grandparents for a while, and it was, they were upper middle class, and they had all of that, and so we had the computer and AIM and MySpace and all that fun stuff. Hence why me being a dancer was not a secret. I had it on my MySpace, pictures of me with a lot of the girls that I worked with. We were either going out after work to like breakfast. We would go to breakfast after work. We would go to South Street Diner in Boston. They were always open past 2 a.m. and the club didn't close till 2 a.m. So we would go over there, we would have breakfast, chat, have a good time, go home at like 4 in the morning, not pass out till 6 in the morning, you know, because we worked overnights. But I mean, God, those were the good old days. Those were the good old freaking days, you know? Me too. Same, you know, I still remember all of my AIM screen names. My AIM screen name did not age well. I'm sure a lot of people's AIM screen names did not age well, you know? I feel like there's probably a lot of those too, weirdos, serial killers, you know, that kind of. I mean, who thinks that there's a serial killer in New England that they haven't caught yet? Hands for who thinks that's happening. I do. I think that there is a serial killer for the New England area that has not been caught yet. I'm just saying. Oh my God. ASL, age, sex, location. That's right. Everyone would ask those 3 questions. Like, who fucking cares? What are you talking about? I'm not telling you that, you weirdo. OMG. Brown-eyed beauty or something. But that's a good one, right? I always hated my poopy brown eyes. Like, they're not special, okay? They're just brown and poopy, and they're not special, okay? They're just not special. Let me see. I got to check real quick. What is happening here? What is going on here? All right, let's see. So I was looking to see, because my phone goes nutty most of the day, because you guys rock and always are bringing me things that I might have missed. And there aren't enough hours in the day for me to catch every tiny thing that happens, right? Oh my God, Christina, I can't stand you, but I love you so much. When I say to someone I can't stand you, it means I love you, and that was hilarious. That's what that means. I say it to my husband all the time when he says something ridiculous. I'm like, I fucking hate you. I can't stand you. You're ridiculous. That means is I love you, and that was fucking funny. I have no idea, LTG. I could not answer that question. I have no idea. I know, me too. There are some good times, I'm sure, for other errors too, but God, you know, our kids are never going to have sort of some of the things we had, you know? And I try to give them those things. You know what I mean? At the same time, I try to give them a lot of what I had as a kid. Like, go outside and play, use your imagination. You know, my little does that. She goes outside and she plays and rides scooters and plays basketball and rides her bike and, you know, plays hide and seek. And, you know, it was fun. It was fun. I want my kids to at least have some of that, you know? Oh my God. Do we get to say that now? Do we get to say back in the day? I feel like my grandmother. When I was younger, back in the day, we walked 3 miles in the snow to school. Like, that's nice, Nana. I'm glad that you walked 3 miles in the snow, and you're very proud of that. But I don't want to walk 3 fucking miles in the snow, and you shouldn't have had to either. It doesn't make it okay for me to have to do it, Nana. All right? God bless my Nana's soul. But you know how they always used to tell you, like, you know, bread was 5 cents, and we walked a mile in, you know, the snow to school, and blah, 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 blah. And, you know, we sound like that now, don't we? We sound like that now, don't we? I played Battleship last night with my daughter. She beat me once and I beat her once. So listen, we are a family of games. We like games. And me and my little played Battleship last night, and I won 1 and she won 1. All right. And it was fun. I'm not going to lie. I had a blast playing Battleship with my child. All right. So I'm a child inside here sometimes, you know? I remember the ads in the newspapers. Oh my God, I forgot about that. Where they had the like ads where you could like single woman looking to date, you know, single man from wherever. I forgot those existed. Oh my God. Forgot the dates. 1 year in Arizona, Dougie said we had 3 serial killers in the news, but the detective said we had 8 or 9 serial. Oh my God. So at any point in time, they have a... Why? See, you're not the only one who said that. That is weird. You're not the only one who said that, Leah. Someone else is saying that same thing, that the red light that I'm live isn't even on. That's weird. That's weird. That is freaking weird. Yeah, I think it's YouTube because I don't know why else it would be doing it. I mean, I'm looking at it. I have no idea why it's not showing on my side. So weird. Goonies. My kids love 90s cartoons and early 2000s cartoons. I still love them, but my little has now become infatuated with them. Listen, Cat Dog, big fan of Cat Dog. All right, I loved Cat Dog and Angry Beavers. All right, it was one of my favorites. I mean, who doesn't like Ren and Stimpy? Rocko's Modern Life. Listen, all right, you got to let your kids have a little bit of everything, you know. But the Goonies is a great one. She said it was boring. No, stop it. Goulash. I agree. My Nana used to make these mini hot dogs in like a jelly sauce that were delicious. Me and my sister were just talking about this, and I cannot recreate them the way my Nana used to make them. And I'm telling you, they were so good. I know. I say it too. Well, back in my day. Dirt and rocks barefoot. Next time, next time we got to tell them and get kick rocks and flip flops, Grandpa. I can see what he says. Plow rain and pound snow, Grandpa. On the left, it's showing off, but on the feed, it's on. Yeah, that's so weird. That's YouTube and StreamYard being fucking stupid. Animaniacs. I love Animaniacs. And there's 3 new seasons on Hulu. They did a reboot of it. Still funny, by the way. Although they did take Elmira. Sorry. No, Elmira. They took Elmira out and Pepe Le Pew because apparently it's not appropriate anymore. Elmira was hilarious and stop being so ridiculous. All right. Pepe Le Pew was also hilarious. All right. Jeez. But he's so sensitive nowadays. God damn it. Baby Ruth. My grandfather loved Baby Ruths, and he loved, what are those ones with the orange stuff in the middle? Butterfingers. He used to love Butterfingers. Love Butterfingers. Not Elvira, Elmira. So they used to tell me back in the day, I looked like Elvira because of my long, dark hair. But Elmira, she was the redheaded kid on Animaniacs or Tiny Toons. So she made, and then she had like a small, 1 season show of her own, which was weird, but it did. It did. All right, the hearing starts in 10 minutes. I love Pepe Le Pew. Yeah, thin-skinned. Ren and Stimpy was the shit, all right? Gonna love Ren and Stimpy. Hearing's down to 10 minutes, so we have successfully talked our way about a million different things to almost the hearing. They used to call me all the time when I was younger. I mean, my hair is still black, obviously, but when I was younger, I'm like, who the fuck is Elvira? Like, what are you talking about? You know? Oh my God, Speedy Gonzalez. Listen, I'm Spanish, and it's not offended at all. Speedy Gonzalez is the fastest mouse in all of Mexico, all right? And it was hilarious, and he's adorable, and I love it. Looney Tunes. I mean, if you don't like Looney Tunes, we can't be friends. I'm just saying. Who doesn't like Looney Tunes? Nowadays, you'll never see a cartoon with Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner meet. It's too violent, right? It's that's why I let my kids have a little bit of the cartoons that we had, because you'll never get cartoons like that ever again. Ever again. Just, you never will, for various reasons. You know? My friend who used to live above me in the old apartment. He's an elderly guy. We're like an odd couple of friends, but what in the hell is going on there? Oh, they're streaming it from Zoom, it looks like. Weird. Okay. But he's a diabetic, so I learned some tricks of the trade of some things that actually tasted good that were sugar-free from him. I love Pinky and the Brain. It's around the same time as Animaniacs, okay? And it came from Animaniacs. So you could watch it in Animaniacs, and then they had their own Pinky and the Brain show after that. Who doesn't like Pinky and the Brain? One is a genius and the other is insane. You know? They're laboratory mice and their genes have been spliced. They're Pinky and the Brain. They're trying to take over the world. What do we do tomorrow, Brain? We're going to take over the world, Pinky. We're going to take over YouTube, Pinky. How could you not love Pinky and the Brain? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Wile E. Coyote had a cousin who was called, oh God, Ralph? Was it Ralph? And Ralph actually talked. Or Rolf? I can't remember. I think it was Ralph. And Ralph talked. You know? The Toyota bugger and the not happy Jan. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I love old commercials. Don't ask me why I'm a weirdo. What we doing tonight, Brain? Doing what we every night, Pinky. We're trying to take over the world. They're Pinky and the Brain. We're going to get when my husband said yesterday, you're going to get a copyright strike for me singing that because I sing so good, he said. Babe, you going to sing for us so we can get a copyright strike? No. He said it, not me. That's what he said yesterday when we were watching that hearing, and he called for his little 5-minute break on video chat, and he was singing a little bit of chicken fry, cold beer on a Friday night. My husband loves country, in case you guys didn't know. Newsflash. And I'm like, I have a good mind to unmute you and let everybody hear you singing. And he's like, well, you'll just get yourself a copyright strike because I'm so good. They'll think it's the real thing. By the way, he's not a singer and he cannot sing. just saying. So that's what makes it funnier. Betty Boop. My mother used to love Betty Boop. She's not from the 90s. Isn't she from like the 60s, maybe 50s even? Gotta love Pinky and the Brain. I watch it all the time. I think it was like a couple days ago. Punky Brewster. Did you ever watch the animated version of Punky Brewster? I used to have it on VHS when I was a kid. It's one of my favorite things to watch. Punky Brewster. That was the animated version. Drink enhancers are very sweet, depending on which ones you get. But you can use, I don't know if it's stevia or it's like one of those. There's one that diabetics can have and there's one that they can't, but it's like a sugar substitute. And I've tried them. They're just as sweet. They're pretty good. It's a pretty good, it's close. There was an episode or two where he spoke, but there's also one that's Ralph. Oh my God. Remember Speedy's cousin, Slowpoke Rodriguez. I totally forgot that character ever existed until you just said that. I loved Punky Brewster. All right. I'm just saying. Oh my God. You guys want to hear a funny story about Skittles? Ralph Wolf. What? That's it. Ralph Wolf. That was him. And he talked. Sorry, we were buffering again. So here's oh my God, Hey Dude. I used to watch that one. Or Salute Your Shorts. So Skittles, right? Here's a funny story about Skittles and cops, for that matter. I know, weird combo, right? So while I'm telling this story, by the way, tell the story. These are the ways you can donate to the channel. One of a bunch of different ways. You can hit the like button, the subscribe button. You can hit the share button. And I don't even think you actually have to share, but if you hit the share button, it helps. Now there's that new thing where you can hype a video or videos on someone's channel 3 times a week for free, which is fun. It helps smaller creators, apparently. That's what YouTube tells me in an email yesterday, which is super fun. I didn't know it was like an actual thing that like helps smaller creators, but now that I know, I'm going to do that to other people's videos that are smaller creators because I want to help out too. We should all do our part. And I'm going to do my part. So there's that. Then there's the monetary ways. Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Revolut, Chime. And then we have debit and credit. And that one is in the description of the video. It's also linked and pinned at the top. And those are the ways that you can help out the channel, because we don't have sponsors. There's no corporate overlords or other channels that are helping us out. We simply run our show based on you guys' donations and you guys' donations only. So, you know, some days we don't even get paid because we're not a huge channel that gets 50, 60 donations per views. We don't do that. We get what we get and we don't get upset. So my nanny used to say, right? And I love you guys and I have fun. And, you know, no one obviously can run a channel if they're not bringing in money, but this is also a safe space for people, right? We have fun. We talk about random shit. We, you know, laugh, we cry together, we blood, sweat, and tears together. You know, we check on each other, and I couldn't ask for a more loving, amazing, funny, smart, intelligent, entire community. Like every one of you is so good at something and unique in your own ways. Okay, so back to the Skittles, right? Fun story. So I was in my 20s and I was with a friend of mine and we had to go to her stepmother's house and we were staying there for the night. I forget what we were helping her with. We were helping her with something. At some point in the night, she lived in Marshfield. We decided we were going to get in her car and go down to 7-Eleven. She needed cat food. And we wanted to get snacks to watch movies, right? So this is what we did. We go down to the store. Her stepmother drives us down to the store. We park at the 7-Eleven. We get out. We go in. We get snacks, right? She gets cat food and we come out. Literally, we get in the car and we're getting ready to pull out. And a cop pulls up into the spot next to us and tells us to stop. Excuse me, sir. What? He tells us that we are suspicious looking. I'm sorry, what? Like, are you bored over there in Marshfield? Now, again, I was in my 20s. This was a long time ago. But I asked the cop, I go, what is suspicious exactly? We came from down the street to come get cat food and snacks. What exactly is suspicious about coming to 7-Eleven to get snack food? And like, not that we like looked like our looks were suspicious, but that us coming to the 7-Eleven was suspicious. Like, what's suspicious about going to 7-Eleven, you weirdo, right? It didn't make any sense at all what the guy was saying, like what the cop was saying. He really, in my opinion, was just looking for somebody to fuck with for any reason. Like, that's bottom line. That's what he was doing. And he was mad that there was nothing to fuck with. He saw two women in their 20s and a woman who was late, you know, stepmom was probably in her 40s, I would guess, you know, mid to late 40s. So two women in their 20s and a woman in her mid 40s. And he thought something suspicious was happening. I don't know. I don't know what he thought. Right. So anyway, we're already in the car. We're trying to like back up and leave. And the cop is like telling us he's essentially now pulling us over. Like, first of all, you can't pull us over. We're already pulled over, right? We're parked in a spot. We just came out of a store, right? With a receipt and food and cat food. Like, what weird, right? So now he's just being a dick, right? He comes over to every window of the car, including me, I'm in the back, and asks for everyone's IDs. For what? And so we're asking him, for what? What is the thing that we did that you lawfully need my ID for? What crime are you suspecting us of committing to stop us? He wouldn't answer the question, right? Obviously, for obvious reasons, because he knows he had nothing at that point and he would have to let us leave and we didn't have to give him. But we gave him the IDs just so he would shut the F up, right? I kid you not. My friend is sitting in the front and she's like going through her purse looking for her ID, right? And we had a bag of Skittles from way earlier in the day when we stopped and got drinks because it was like summertime. It was hot, you know? And so the Skittles had like spilt at the bottom of her purse, kind of like out of the Skittles package, right? And so she's looking in her purse to give him the ID. And he kind of leans in with his flashlight because it's nighttime flashlight. And he's like looking inside of her purse like a fucking weirdo while she's trying to get the ID. And he's like, what? Well, what's that? He sees an orange Skittle. An orange Skittle, which he, I guess, assumes is like Suboxone or something, right? Like an idiot. So he's like, well, what's that? Right? And I will never forget this because I'm like, you're going to get us arrested. So at this point, my friend is now so annoyed that she decides that she's going to grab a handful of Skittles now from the bottom of her purse, right? So that's exactly what she does. She goes, what does it fucking look like? It's a fucking Skittle, you idiot. Quote, this is quote what she said. She grabbed like I scooped up like a handful of them from the bottom of her purse. And she started grabbing a few and throwing them out the window at the cop. And she's like, does this look like drugs? They're fucking Skittles. Taste the rainbow. Right. And I'm like, oh my God, shut up. You are going to get us arrested. I would like to not have to deal with this asshole of a cop who's already being an asshole. She's throwing Skittles out the window at him, telling him to taste the fucking rainbow because he saw an orange Skittle that he assumed was drugs while he was being a nosy prick while she was trying to find her ID. So he starts yelling at her to stop throwing the Skittles. And she's like, no, you want to see what they are? I'm going to show you. And so that he walks around the driver's side. I kid you not. I mean, I was pissed off too. I probably wouldn't have thought to throw the Skittles at him, but it was funny. It wasn't funny until afterwards because I didn't want to deal with the fucking cop. He was just being a dick. He was clearly looking for a problem. But it was funny after, right? So whatever. He walks back over to the driver's side and he's like, I just need your ID. And so she's like, well, you stopped me when you wanted to taste the fucking rainbow because you were being nosy and you thought you found Pablo Escobar's stash. This is what she says to him. And I'm like, oh my God. I mean, she's not wrong. Like you thought a orange Skittle was like, you know, some big giant drug bust you were going to find, bud? Like, calm it the fuck down, right? So after she tells him that, like, he's not finding Pablo Escobar's big stash from a orange Skittle, he got a little more pissed off, right? And now he's threatening to arrest everyone if she doesn't give her, you know, the ID. And she's like, well, I was looking for it when you stopped me, right? And so finally she finds it and gives it to him. He runs everyone's name and there's nothing, right? So what are you going to do? And he's like, I'm going to give you a warning. And we're like, a warning for what? He goes back to his car for like 15 minutes and he's parked right next to us. So we can see him just like on a stupid computer and like, you know, and like he comes back and he's like, you ladies have a nice night. Like, oh, no warning now, officer asshole? No fucking warning, dick face? No. Okay, you're a fucking putt knocker. How about that, sir? Sir, you're a putt knocker and you can take your fucking rainbow with you from the Skittles on the ground now, dickhead. Oh, right? Trafficking Skittles across state lines with no proper Skittles license will get you in trouble, folks. All right? Do not tell the officer to taste the fucking rainbow while throwing Skittles at him. You might piss him off. Newsflash. This happened. This is a real story. I will never forget it. And you know how you think back to like things that like happened when you were younger and they're just like gaps, you know what I mean? You're like, I don't even know what happened the year I was 22. I can't remember a single thing I did when I was 22, but then all of a sudden you'll get like things you did when you were 23, 24, maybe you skip 25 and you're like, oh, I was like 27 when that happened. But you remember some things like it was yesterday and other things you're like, somebody has to remind you it happened. Well, this is something I remember like it was fucking yesterday. Like it was yesterday. Because usually I was the person telling the cop to go fuck himself. Usually that was me, right? But that day I was just trying to have, putt knocker, not pot knocker, putt knocker. Yeah, that's a word that I made up when I was like frustrated in my early 20s. No idea where the fuck it came from. I was just frustrated at one point. And I probably had said every other name in the book. And I was like, you're a fucking putt knocker. Don't know where it came from. Can't be responsible. Things fly out of my mouth sometimes. Okay. I don't know. But nonetheless, it was funny. What is happening? It was funny and I'll never forget it. It was a non-forgettable story because that night the officer did not want to taste the rainbow. But that's what the fuck he got was handfuls of Skittles being thrown out the window at him because in her defense, she was right. He thought he found Pablo Escobar's stash when he saw a fucking orange Skittle in the bottom of her purse. Like, bud, why are you peeping into her purse with your stupid thing anyway while you're pulled up next to us saying we're suspicious for going in? Now, mind, it's not like we were weirdly dressed or high on weed or anything like that. We were literally sober as a judge, just going to get cat food and snacks to literally watch movies that night, which is not our normal weekend out in our 20s. You know, maybe we would go out with friends to a bar, have a couple drinks, come home, like watching whatever. Like this was like a chill weekend. We were literally getting snacks to watch movies and do nothing else. And this asshole had to be a fucking asshole. Right? Well, he got told to taste the fucking rainbow and that he did not find Pablo Escobar's stash. He was not a happy camper that night. Nonetheless, it was funny afterwards, and we laughed pretty much all night about it and how pissed off he was that he did not find some giant bust because he was fucking bored. I'm telling you, some of it I don't remember. I remember my 21st birthday. I sure do. But yes, putt knocker. I don't ask me where it came from. I have no fucking idea. Officer passion fruit. Clearly, it was the wrong color. If that Skittle had been red or yellow at that point, like, I don't think he would have had any reason to question it was a fucking candy at the bottom of a purse, dude, you know? But the guy was like, the cop was looking for something. He was looking for something to just, you know, fuck with people, like, literally. Okay. This is on. I'm like, the volume is on. Everything's on. And I don't know what's going on. It just says Plymouth Superior Court, 4th criminal session. Please mute yourself upon entry. And the host has joined. We'll let them know you're here. So it hasn't joined. It hasn't added them yet to the case. So another word I need to look up in ChatGPT. I wonder if it is on ChatGPT. That would be so funny. Oh my God, let's look. That would be so funny if it was actually on ChatGPT. The first time I said it, I was like, I don't know, maybe 19, maybe 20. Let me see. Let's see if it's actually on ChatGPT. What is a... I feel like it's not going to answer that correctly. You are a putt knocker. Let's see what it says. I can roll with whatever energy you're bringing, but just to be clear, putt knocker isn't a real word. So if you're going for a roast, I can help you craft an actually good one. If you meant it as a joke, hit me with the vibe you want. Playful roast, savage Boston style clapback, turtle point level insult, but actually funny. Tell me the direction and I'll upgrade your insult so it actually lands. I can't make this up. That's what it says. Like, I'm going to copy and paste this into our chat because that's literally what ChatGPT just said to me. Here we go. Ready? Copy. And where are we? Paste. I'm not fucking kidding. This is literally what it just said to me. But it says putt knocker's not a real word. So can we put that in the Webster's? Webster's, can we put putt knocker in your thing, please? Because, I mean, it's my word. No, they really can't. 6 decades of my life. I'm telling you, so has mine. Just random words. I don't even know. I can't either. That would be weird. You know? According to Kathy Rusin, live streaming is not allowed and Law and Crime will stream it later? What? Is that what they're saying for Boston 10? What? Okay, but that is so weird to me, though, because I don't think that the judge can keep people out of Zoom. I don't think that's legal. That's a problem. I'm really not sure they can legally keep people out of wanting to watch it on Zoom. You know, I don't think they can do that. Once again, there's a reason why things are public, but that's weird. That's what ChatGPT just said to me. Okay. That's weird. Yeah, it did. It literally said a Turtle Boy level insult, but actually funny. So it kind of roasted him. It sounds like a weapon. It's putt. P-U-T. Putt knocker. Putt knocker. Putt. She took the stream down? Interesting. But it said actually funny. Means the fix is in. Something's going. I mean, I don't think they can do that. Everywhere cannot stream because it's civil and private. But that's the thing. A civil case isn't private. It's still public. So weird. Yeah, it did. It roasted him. That's just weird to me. I don't understand why. Oh my God, you looked up. I can't. Twat waffle? Was it a twat waffle you had to look up? People use that one all the time. Boston NBC, but besides that, oh, she's got till after. That's so weird. Yeah, twat waffle. That's the one. That's the one. Let me see if I can look at something else. Hold on. Let's see if we can pull up something else here. Let's see. Let's see. I don't know, but that's really strange to me because it is still. Mike has it. I think he's trying to stream it too. Let me see. NBC 10 is the only place that I see with it. But that's my point, right? If the courtroom is open, it's open to the public. There is nothing in the law that yeah, but it also, there's nothing in the law that allows them to stop you from, if they have a Zoom that they're allowing people, like if they're allowing anyone in on a Zoom, they can't just pick and choose who they allow. That means it's open to the public, right? So you can't just say like, oh, well, we don't want the people who stream it on. If it's open to the public, it's open to the public. And if you're doing a Zoom, then it should be open to everyone. This is the, you know what I mean? That's the weird part. I know. You would think it would have something to do with golf. That's what you would think, that it would have something to do with golf. And it literally, I kid you not, just like flew out of my mouth one day. I was like frustrated, and I feel like I probably already used the word bitch and douchebag and, you know, and I was just like, fucking putt knocker. Like, it just came flying out. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't help it. I couldn't help it, guys. I couldn't help it. She's not, but right now she is. She's filling in for Judge O'Shea right now, I guess. Thank you, Jesse. I don't want to risk it, though. I'm just going to keep an eye on this and see if we can get through. Because even if I log into Zoom and I only listen to it by myself and don't stream it, what good does that do any of you? You know what I mean? Then I have to literally sit there quiet, listening to what's happening and not say anything to you guys until, you know what I mean? That would be weird. That's weird. That's strange. Oh my God, Twat Waffles and ChatGPT, shut the hell up. That is freaking hilarious. I can't. That's hilarious. That is so funny. Oh, Jack. Jack sends 1251 and says, have a great day. Thank you, Jack, for your truth bomb. We appreciate you. Oh, and Deidre sends $25 and says, for you. Thank you, Deidre. We appreciate you. Thank you, Jack. We appreciate you. Explosion. Maybe I will order my kid dinner tonight for her birthday. If that's what she wants, at least. Maybe that can be the treat. She is 8 now. I asked her this morning, right? I go, do you feel older? She's like, yeah, my legs feel older. Your legs feel older? Before I sent her to school, my legs feel, oh, it's okay. Do you feel taller, older? Yeah. You're 8 now. If you don't waddle, I'll wobble, wobble. I'll waddle, waddle. Fun fact, I was talking to someone yesterday about edible arrangements, right? Fun fact, I am one of those people that is weird, and I only like the cantaloupe, the bananas, and the apples. Those are my favorites. And the grapes, right? So edible arrangements, and I think I've had like 4 in my entire life. But like it's always strawberries, right? Always strawberries. And I like strawberries. I'm just not a fan of like eating that many strawberries. Like you give me cantaloupe, grapes, bananas, like apples. I love those ones. Those ones are my favorite, right? So I'm talking to a friend about it, and the last one she got was like bananas, grapes, cantaloupe, apples, and I think pineapples. Not a fan of pineapples, but somebody else would eat them. And so I'm like, ooh, tell me which one of those, or maybe they have like a smaller version I can get myself just for everybody to eat for my birthday when people come over. And we looked and it wasn't on the website anymore. And I was like, this is bullshitaki. This is bullshitaki. I say, I like fruit, but I do not want all the gut. And then I'm looking at the prices and I'm like, the last time I bought one of those for someone, they were way lower. I was like, I would rather crumble cookies then. You know what I mean? If I'm going to spend that kind of money, I'm going to spend it on crumble, God damn it. Like, ooh, Skittles with chocolate. That actually sounds good. I did not watch the Lance trial. I've seen it, but I have been sort of working on other ones that are up and coming. So I haven't watched it. She said her legs feel older. It was hilarious. It was adorable. She also kicked my butt in Battleship last night, but I won one and she won one. So technically we tied on Battleship. Okay. I sunk her Battleship. She sunk my Battleship. You know. Yeah. What I'm hoping though, because if we find out later on that they let in, say for instance, journalists, but they didn't let them stream it, right? And they let them in to watch it, but they didn't let them stream it. Like I'm going to have a problem with that, right? Because that's the public, right? Whether it's a journalist or not, is you're opening it up to the public. So why the sort of allowing it to not be seen? Like, what are we hiding? It should be public. Like, what is the problem that you can't have it be public? It's of public interest. There's literally no reason I can think of that it wouldn't be public, And so for me, that's a little weird, right? I know there's not usually public interest in a civil case, but there is in this one, right? So what's the fucking problem? You guys had no problem parading everything around in front of a goddamn jury and tainting that shit to fucking hell, but we can't watch it now in a civil trial? I mean, that just doesn't not make sense to me at all, Hey, Jack. It's nice to see you, my friend. Are you off to work, I'm guessing, this afternoon? Ooh, melon. I like melon too. Not gonna lie. I like melon. Cantaloupe and melon. I like both. Those are good. I've never had Chittles. That's what just came out of my mouth. Skittles with chocolate. That actually sounds good. I mean, it's kind of like if you try Doritos or Cheez-Its with sour cream. Delicious. Okay. Sometimes I'll make like a taco salad and you crush up the Doritos. Makes such a good taco salad. It's delicious. It's delicious. Delicious. Watch some of the videos on the Sumeru volcano eruption. The pyroclastic flows were caught on camera, and now there's a lahar. I think the power of Mother Nature is freaking wild. I watched something the other day where people were like super up close to a volcano when it was like erupting, and I was like, they're insane for being that close. They're actually freaking insane for being that close. No, thank you. Yeah, I said chittles. That happened. Yep. Chittles. I can't be responsible for the things that fly out of my mouth sometimes, okay? It's not my fault. Tis not my fault. Let's see if I can get some answers here on what the fuck is going on. And why? Why are y'all not telling us what's going on here? Okay, hold on. Okay. Okay. Weird. The note said no live streaming of hearings, so maybe there'll be a recording after the fact. Let's hope so. Right? I hadn't either. I hadn't played Battleship in fucking probably over 20 years. It was one that they got for Christmas last year that the kids opened and played a couple times themselves. But I and my daughter and her friends, but I've never sat there and played the Battleship one. I've played pretty much all the other ones. Yahtzee, Candyland. We have some murder mystery ones me and my older kids haven't done yet. But Battleship I hadn't played. So I was actually happy to play Battleship last night. Just saying. That's so weird. Like, why? I want to know why. You know, I want to know freaking why. I'm going to look real quick on X and see something. If we are getting any sort of like live tweeting or anything, I think we'll find out. NBC 10 Boston. Let's see. I'm looking right now, Jesse. I'm looking right now. Wait a second. Hold on. What's happening here? What about this? Okay, there's nothing happening there. Okie dokes then. Blah, 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 blah. I've only seen the post about it not being live streamed, but no updates since. I'm still looking just to see if any of our news stations are reporting anything on it. Maybe Ted Daniel. I'm looking. Mass Post Commission has responded to Attorney Alan Jackson's request to investigate Boston Police Commissioner Michael Cox's statements about former officer Kelly Dever. Here's the letter. I don't know why that would fucking matter. That's just ridiculous. I don't see anything for him. Not that I expected it, but let's see. What about Cooper? No. Nothing there either. No, I just looked. I don't see anything. How about, let's check. I don't understand. WHDH Channel 7 News. Not guilty plea entered for former Stoughton police officer on new charge. Okay, so that's the one we were waiting for that we weren't going to be able to watch anyway because it was federal. But an hour ago, it says Stoughton, Mass. A new charge faces former Stoughton police officer Matthew Farwell in federal court in connection with the death of Sandra Birchmore. Now, remember, there's no cameras in federal court. Like you cannot watch things in federal court, which is fucking ridiculous. And again, kind of pisses me off because the argument of like public trial versus not, but like, let us see it, bro. Okay. Let us fucking see it. Let's see it. But anyway, it says a new charge faces former Stoughton police officer Matthew Farwell in federal court in connection with the death of Sandra Birchmore. Farwell, already charged with murdering Birchmore, who was 23 and pregnant at the time, now faces charges in the death of the unborn baby. Farwell did not appear in court on Friday, but a not guilty plea was entered in his behalf. He was arrested by SWAT teams in Revere in August 2024 and charged with murder. Federal prosecutors said Farwell strangled Birchmore in her Canton apartment in 2021, then staged it to look like she committed suicide. They said Farwell began sexually abusing Birchmore when she was 15 years old. I think it was 13. I believe this is wrong. And part of the Stoughton Police Department's youth mentor program where Farwell was an instructor. Prosecutors said Birchmore told Farwell she was pregnant with his child and he killed her to keep her from sharing information about his sexual exploitation of her as a child. Farwell pleaded not guilty to her murder and remains in federal custody. If Farwell is found guilty in the deaths of both Birchmore and her unborn child, he faces up to life in prison or the death penalty. Here's the thing. They set a max limit. See, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's a bullshitty. So they let people in, but only certain people. I have a problem with that. What the fuck are we hiding here? Like, why? I don't understand. You guys had no problem parading the criminal shit all over everywhere. So for what reason? You just don't get it. It doesn't fucking make sense to me at all. Not even a little bit. Let me see if Mike got anything. Doesn't look like he did. Weird. That's so strange. It's really like no one's getting it. From Law and Crime X. Today's Karen Reed hearing in the civil case is Zoom only and live streaming is not allowed. We will upload it later. Why? Well, okay, what pisses me off about that is, okay, they will upload it later, but why? Why? If you're just going to upload it later, why the fuck can't we hear it now? That's the part that pisses me off. What is the difference between us hearing it right now and it being uploaded later? You know what I mean? That doesn't make any fucking sense at all. Okay, cool. At capacity. Usually there's one that Zoom has one that has no capacity. So I'm finding it to sound like more excuses. That's what it fucking sounds like to me. There is no real reason that we shouldn't be able to hear it. They have an option that has no capacity on it. That's ridiculous. That's just ridiculous. Absolutely freaking ridiculous. I can't. I just don't get it. I just don't understand why in the actual fuck they don't just let us hear it. It's like, okay, cool. Law and Crime is going to upload it. So I guess I need to keep an eye on Law and Crime. But it's like, why not just let us hear it now? Why does it need to be uploaded later for us to hear or see? You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. I mean, even if you want to avoid that, you are then cutting out the public who want to hear what the fuck is going on, right? Like, not the ones who want to harass people and send people letters and emails and do all that crazy shit, but people like us who just want to hear the arguments, right? I want to hear the arguments. I want to hear what the attorneys are saying. It just doesn't make sense to me at all. Why let them have it, but they're not allowed to stream it? What's the difference? What is the goddamn difference? I get that they have to have a reason. Doesn't mean it's a good reason or even a fucking valid reason. But usually they give that reason ahead of time. Like, we're not streaming it because of whatever. But, well, they're saying that the Zoom is accurate. I mean, the news still can't even look at this. Is live, you guys. The news still is not in to the Zoom. Okay? They're still not in to the Zoom. That's fucking weird. You know? That is strange. Usually there's an explanation as to why they don't want it streamed or why they don't want, you know what I mean? Like, to me, it doesn't make much sense if you're going to say, I know, right? You could say that again, my friend. Yeah, technical problem, my ass. If they're going to say, okay, cool, like Law and Crime is going to upload it later, then why couldn't we have just listened to it and streamed it? What would have been the difference between us hearing it 5 minutes from now or 30 minutes from now or live? What's the fucking difference? That makes no sense to me whatsoever. We're going to hear it one way or another, but why can't it be right now? Like, why can't we hear it now? Usually if there's something like something that they need to talk about that they don't want the public to hear, that's what a fucking sidebar is for, right? So if there's something about the federal investigation, they're not allowed to whatever, like, okay, cool, that's what sidebars are for. But there's no real reason why we really shouldn't be able to hear this if they're then planning on uploading the hearing after the hearing is over. Then there should have been no reason we couldn't hear it now. And that's the part that gets me. If they weren't going to upload it later, we were just going to have to hear about it from the news stations, I would already have a problem with that. This is NBC 10. This is NBC 10 right here. This is NBC 10. NBC 10 Boston. See? This is crazy to me. This is cuckoo. Look at NBC. Ooh. Oh, because I have it on big. That's why. Look at NBC. This is NBC 10. NBC 10 Boston. And they're still like, this is live. This is NBC 10 live. They're still, host has joined. We'll let them know you're here. Plymouth Superior Court, 4th criminal session. They're still not in, which is crazy. This is NBC 10 right here on our screen. This is what NBC 10 is showing right now. That they're on the screen for Zoom, but they have not gotten in. The Brian Walsh trial starts December 1st. They're in jury selection right now. I don't think we waited for nothing because they're still gonna upload it. At least Lauren Crime is, but how long will that take? I don't know. It's a good fucking question. But the answer to your question, Michelle, is December 1st. Monday, December 1st is the first day of the Brian Walsh trial. Right now they are in jury selection. And I would hope that maybe today they would have enough jurors or close to enough jurors at least. If not, then I think Monday would probably be the final day for them getting it. But yeah, this is NBC 10. See at the bottom where I showed you guys? Scroll up right here. See the corner? See this right here? NBC 10, Boston. Right here. Can you see my mouse or no? Well, you can see how I'm highlighting this thing, right? This blue right here. 97 people. Look right above this box that's blue. It's NBC 10 Boston right here. Oh, they got all the jurors for Walsh. Good. Thank God. So they did say December 1st it would start. Now I wonder if they're going to start before the holiday. It's possible they don't just because, you know, the holiday's Thursday, but I know it is dark outside today. Here it is. It's all clouds. It looks like it's going to rain, even though it didn't rain. Let me check my phone real quick. Whoop. Oh, Deidre, thank you. Deidre sends another $10 and says, for your daughter's birthday. Thank you. I will definitely use that to probably let her pick dinner to be ordered tonight. I think she could pick that. You know, whatever she wants to eat. Maybe I'll just let her order something and then I'll eat whatever's in the house. But I think she'll like that. She doesn't really usually get to like pick what she, you know what I mean? Order out and get to pick what she wants. That's a treat. Oh, hold on a second. Weird. But this is NBC 10. So I'm looking right now. So at least what I don't understand with the Farwell stuff is why did it take them this long, right, to charge him with the death of the unborn child? It doesn't make sense to me why they took this long to charge him with that. He should have already been charged with that a while ago. Like a long while ago. There should have been no real reason that they waited this long. I mean, there's no real reason. A lot of things should have happened in that fucking case, but I digress. I freaking digress nonetheless. Yeah, I'm looking on like non-traditional things. I can't with that. I agree with you, Michelle. I mean, I don't know how you defend the undefensible, I guess. You know, I don't know how anybody does it. You can't make excuses for some of that shit. You know what I mean? And she kind of makes excuses for anything he does. And it's just, it's gross. To me, it's gross. Maybe to some people, it's all fun and games and funny. I can't. It's just gross to me that at this point we're, making excuses for behavior that's just not excusable in any way, shape, or form. Also, just letting you guys know that Amazon is having their Black Friday sale that started yesterday. It goes all the way until my birthday, I believe, which is the 28th. So it's a week or 8 days. The 20th, I think, so from yesterday till next Friday. So if you're looking for a deal, I guess they started their Black Friday deals early on Amazon. Looks like a technical. Somebody else just tagged me and said that. Well, that's the thing. You can't call out some men that are abusive to women when he does the exact same bullshit every 5 minutes. It just doesn't sit well with me. And this is one of the reasons why I don't watch Melanie Little. And God forbid that anybody say that you watch me in there. Oh, you get attacked by the Turtle Riders. And it's like, you watch people do that in your chat and you don't go, wait a second, hold on. Like, you know what I mean? Ooh, it's 30% off. I know. You got to send me the link to my phone so I can look at the blanket. That would be an amazing. I'm going to put that on my wish list because if I don't, I'll forget all about it. Even if I did want to buy it for myself. My guess is they uncovered more things about other people and it took time to process it all. Maybe, maybe. But you're absolutely right, Michelle. I 100% agree with you here. He does the same shit and it is hypocritical. I mean, I can't say I'm bad. I swear a lot. I can't help it. It's one of those things. All right. I'm from Boston. Just give me a break. But I do have a potty mouth. I have a potty mouth, but I digress. I just do. So, I can't say much about saying the F-bombs. He's bad. He's terrible. He's terrible. Here's the thing. It is. I'm telling you, Lisa, it is. I can't help it. It just comes flying out and, I'm a little rough around the edges, but I'm honest about it. Okay. I'm honest about it. I'm just saying. Well, for me, the glare is just so far up Aiden's ass that he could spit him out. And, we asked him, how was it up there? And he said it was warm. So essentially just admitting that he loves being up at Aiden's ass, which is just fucking weird. You're a grown ass man, bro. To be up another man's ass, like figure it out yourself, guy. It's kind of gross. And it's like, again, 99% of the people Aiden goes after are women. Women. And, I can't. I do have a little bit of passion. The swearing is probably just more habit than it is passion. I am very passionate, but at the same time, I get a lot of shit from both sides, right? I get shit from the anti side. I get shit from the FKR side. So for me, it's more like, I don't really fucking care if people like the way I run my channel or don't run my channel. They couldn't kiss my ass, in my opinion. Some people are like, oh, directing people how to support your channel is begging for donations. I disagree, right? If I was a channel of 40,000, 50,000, 30,000, or even 20,000, I wouldn't need to because I could sustain the channel just on like memberships and views and things like that. My channel's not that big. I cannot do that, right? And if I had the money to just put into it myself and not be out groceries or part of a bill, I would do that, right? I don't have it like that. So I cannot do that. Therefore, my other options are let people know how and where they can support. And I always tell people how they can support for free as well. Nobody has to donate. It's a choice that people make to say, hey, we appreciate your channel. Hey, we love watching your channel. Hey, we would like to help support you and your channel. It's a choice. Nobody's forced to do anything, right? And so for anyone to have that sort of argument that it's begging for donations, like, no, it's a choice that people have. They can choose to or not choose to. And because I'm honest about my financial situation of, being a family that, you know, which most American families are working paycheck to paycheck, that somehow is a financial sob story. No, that's my real life. That's my real life. And I choose to share that with my audience because most people are in the same boat. So they can relate to me. And I hope that they can relate to each other. And so they can learn to sort of help each other out when we can, so we can lift each other up. And if someone has a fucking problem with the way that I run my channel and do that, they can kiss my ass. I don't give a fuck, right? Because it's not their channel. Now, it'd be one thing if people didn't take privately donations and gifts and things like that, and then not say a fucking word about it, which they don't have to, but then criticize other people. You can't take donations from people who are helping support you financially, you know, privately, not say anything about it publicly, and then poo-poo the people who are honest and open and transparent about it. Like, that's just hypocritical. Like, you know what I mean? That's fucking hypocritical. Come on now. So I say to all the people who don't like it, don't fucking watch me then. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Okay. I am honest with my viewers because most of them, right, are living just like anyone else, paycheck to paycheck, just trying to get by one thing at a time, right? And they can relate to that, just like I can relate to that. Maybe we can share better recipes. Maybe we can share how to save money on X, Y, and Z. Like, that's the point of a fucking community. And if you can't get that through your thick head, then that's why you don't have a community per se, you know? I don't know. Like, you don't need to understand the way I run my channel because it's my fucking channel. See how that works? I stay in my lane and you fucking stay in yours. You can call it whatever the fuck you want. You have no idea who I am, my intent, what I want. Like, nothing makes me more happy than when someone else reaches out from this channel and says, hey, I would like to help so-and-so that watches the channel. Like, that doesn't benefit me in any way. It doesn't benefit me in any way, shape, or form. It benefits those two people. But there is nothing more that I would rather see than people lending a hand to one another and lifting each other up. Like, that's the whole purpose of a fucking community. Like, so for me, it's like, if you feel the need to criticize someone else in the way that they do things, then you can choose to do it a different way, can't you? You can choose to do it any fucking way you want. We all have to start somewhere, right? Everyone started with 1,000, then 2,000, then 3,000, then 4,000, then 5,000 subscribers. It gets easier as you get more and more. It's slow going unless you sort of explode from a case or, you know, jump on the bandwagon to just give people what they want to hear, but it's not actually what you believe. I refuse to do that. It takes a little piece of your fucking soul. It just does. It takes a little tiny piece of your soul every time you have to decide that you're not going to say what you actually think because you want the dollars or the clicks instead. I refuse to fucking do that. There are also things that I refuse to do, like only reading people's comments who send a super chat or a super sticker. I refuse to do that. Does it lose the channel money? Yes, it does, because that is a way to get people to donate, right? I refuse to do that because I feel like it's a little sneaky. I don't like it, right? So there are things that I refuse to do because I feel like they're a little sneaky. I don't like it. It's tactics that plenty of creators use to sort of try to boost their channel. I don't poo-poo them for doing it. That's the way that they need to get by. I get it. It's just something that that line that I just don't cross, right? For me, it just doesn't feel right. Everybody's going to run their own shit the way they're going to run shit. And I don't really think anybody has a fucking right to criticize anybody else about the way. Everybody's circumstances are different. Everybody's life is different. Everybody has different circumstances for different reasons, right? Fiddle fucks. That's hilarious. Fiddle fucks. You are a rock star, Deidre. She's like, I want answers and I want them now. Good for you. Good for you. Oh, I love when people say it's not classy. Who said I was trying to be classy? Newsflash, wasn't trying to be, just saying. You know what I mean? It is important, girl. Listen, I get it.
Make this allegation, and they think that there's this
we got
Bristol
something.
County action. I don't want to be prejudiced when we start taking depositions in this case, not knowing what information that they have already assembled when it's time for us to be able to inquire.
Your Honor, let me just quickly respond to that. First of all, I'm a little concerned by listening to my brother counsel.
Exactly, Jimbo. Except he can't afford it. That's the difference.
Message that doesn't seem to deal with any issues because there's been no motion to compel that's been served on us relating to those answers. There's been nothing filed with the court. Instead, my brother counsel is reading from a script for what I'm guessing is some other purpose. And what we'd like to do is we'd like to just...
Attorney Waters, excuse me for interrupting, but maybe we'll take this as a 9C conference. You heard what he's looking for. What do you say to it?
More expensive than any other state in the country to
Your
live
Honor,
here. People
actually,
fail to
I don't know
understand
what
that
he's
too.
talking about, to be candid. I think that Karen's statements have been consistent, and they're certainly consistent with the lawsuit that's been filed in Bristol County. So my brother counsel is going to have to be more specific about what he thinks is inconsistent. I don't think it is at all. And that's usually why motion practice is a good idea.
Attorney Diller, I guess we'll consider the 9C conference conducted and file whatever motion you want to file.
Deidre, the good luck charm.
Anyone from, what's the status of the discovery with CNC Hospitality and GNS? Attorney Diller, did you?
You guys have to unmute her.
I did. Well, both parties had reached out to us over the history of this case. We may have propounded that discovery even before, while the criminal matter was going on, maybe around the time of the stay. But they then reached out to us at separate occasions and were very upfront about the fact that they're compiling discovery and needed more time. We allowed that additional time. Yesterday, we received some discovery, which I think I indicated to you, I have not reviewed yet, but we have received discovery from both bars. One bar, and forgive me for not recognizing which one is which, one bar may have sent me some preliminary discovery a couple weeks ago and then supplemented it yesterday. The other bar sent me a batch of discovery yesterday, none of which have I had an opportunity at this stage to review.
Okay. Anyone else want to offer anything on behalf of any of the parties?
Yeah.
Attorney Hassett on here for Waterfall.
Yes, Your Honor. Attorney Hassett for Waterfall.
Afternoon. Do you want to offer anything?
Your Honor, I would just say that with respect to the discovery, we have in fact responded to the plaintiff's discovery after an extension was granted. We did the interrogatory answers. Those have been complete. The document responses were, as Attorney Diller indicated, in 2 stages. We completed that as well. Through 2 criminal trials, it
didn't start from the
our
beginning. It
approach
started
to
in the
see
middle.
what documents were
We
produced
started
from
the
the
second we
various
started on
keeper
this.
depositions and the other document requests among the parties. And then from there, after looking through the documents, make a decision as to what more pointed interrogatory answers we would propound. And as was indicated earlier, we've got a fairly lengthy discovery on a average tracking order, which permits discovery through next August. So in terms of our own discovery and our plan on propounding it, we were hopeful that we'd be able to wade through some of the voluminous documents first.
Who's here for McCarthy's? Is it Attorney Smith? Donovan, is Attorney Smith?
She
in the
is,
meeting?
yeah.
That would
Attorney
be the right.
Smith.
Yes, Your Honor, I asked her to
Yes.
unmute.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Attorney Tamara Smith for CF McCarthy's. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. Yes, as has been stated, we did produce several hundred pages of documents yesterday, have responded fully to the plaintiff's answers, to the plaintiff's interrogatory requests. And like counsel for Waterfall, there's, as indicated in this call today, over 1 million or about 1 million pages and documents that are forthcoming. So the thought here would be to see what is there so that there's not duplication of effort and additional requests put out that are already answered by what is already forthcoming.
Okay. Anything else from Ms. Reed's side, Mr. Waters?
Nothing from our side, Your Honor. Thank you.
Attorney Diller, anything else from the plaintiffs?
No, I think that, but I do expect that we will convene a 9C amongst all the parties after this to discuss what efforts, if any, will be made to consolidate discovery on the other pending matter, only to ensure that we not worry about there being information that is discovered in the other case relevant to our case, which would prejudice us if we're not privy to.
Well, it's great you're trying to agree to something, but again, I think it's difficult to have an agreement without knowing who's going to be involved in the other case, who the attorneys are. Attorney Waters, what's the status of the notice to the governmental entities?
Yeah, you talking about the presentment letters, Your Honor?
Yes.
I think if they weren't sent yesterday, they'll be being sent today. And we've had conversations with both counsel for those entities about having a shortened presentment period. We expect agreement on that. I got my fingers crossed, but we expect agreement on that, in which case we won't be delayed in processing whatever procedural or motions that those parties want to make in that Bristol County case.
What's the status on the service on the individual defendants in the Bristol case?
They said Bristol County, though. That's weird.
The
That's
answer is I don't know,
that's
Your
not
Honor.
Aiden.
I haven't received information where we've gotten good service, and if we've not gotten it, I expect to get it shortly. My colleague Aaron Rosenberg can specify to that.
Your Honor, we've got counsel for, I believe, 2 of the individual defendants in the Bristol County case. One counsel has already agreed to accept service. The other counsel suggested that he will. We're just going back and
Bristol
forth.
County.
So we're hopeful we'll be able to get acceptance from the majority of those defendants and only have to serve a couple. So we don't foresee any delays on that front.
No, he's not Bristol County,
Taylor,
Worcester.
You talked about consolidation. Attorney Waters said they weren't going to move it this time. You, Attorney Diller, intend on moving to consolidate this.
Who's Bristol, though? Because Aiden doesn't have Bristol County cases. He has Plymouth,
We
Norfolk,
had
and Worcester.
discussed with, so the answer is yes, for purposes of discovery only, just to the extent that that works itself out. There was discussion during that entire motion practice that took place over the last 2 months. The counsel for these other parties had all reached out. So we have spoken with all of the counsel who were involved in the
Bristol is a
case
county.
because they were
Fall River,
apparently going to
Taunton,
be brought into this
New Bedford.
case. So
That's
there was that
Bristol County.
discussion with them. So I do know who that counsel is.
Swansea,
I
Somerset,
have the briefing
Rehoboth.
from those counsel. There was discussion within some of the briefing that it should be consolidated for purposes of discovery purposes. I don't know where things stand because it's now outside in the Bristol case, but I do expect that there's awareness of who all the lawyers are, and we could potentially discuss options. Obviously we had wanted this to all resolve itself months ago. And
They're in
unfortunately,
Norfolk County, though,
it wasn't
most of them.
until Monday
Norfolk.
night that the defendants withdrew their motion and started on a different track with a different mindset. But we will happily be proactive in trying
Yep,
to
Attleboro is also
get that
Bristol.
moving in the best direction for our case in the wrongful death case.
How much time do you think that would take?
Well, what I don't know, Your Honor, is whether some of the parties are going to move to dismiss in the Bristol case and whether that will hold up the discovery.
Of course
there.
they are. Okay, I understand what's
That's
happening. That's the one Karen filed.
That's the
what
big
it is.
unknown. So
The one Karen filed. That's the Bristol case.
I wish I had that crystal ball, and I don't today. But I anticipate that there are
Because
some
Karen filed it from where she
overlapping,
lives. That's why it's Bristol.
parties that may stay in the Bristol case, to which we'll need discovery there, and that discovery will overlap.
Where her parents
I
live
wanna
is
be
technically
clear
Bristol
that
County.
We're agreeing
Dayton,
for
Bristol
discovery
County.
purposes to avoid prejudice. We are tabling whether or not these matters need to be tried together. That will only be known once we have full understanding of what comes out in discovery.
Alan Jackson wants to say something.
Well, let's pick a date in December so we can find out where the Bristol action is at and find out what other discovery issues remain so we can try and sort through those. Do you anticipate filing a motion to compel, Attorney Diller?
Yeah, the interrogatory answer, yes.
Okay, so let's pick a date for that. A date in December. When can you have the motion served?
We can start working on that right away. Within probably the Tuesday after Thanksgiving is what I believe we could shoot for.
Okay, that's December 2nd. Gives the defendant till December 12th. Let's pick a date the next week. We'll have a hearing on the motion to compel and a further status hearing. How about December 18th? Is that an issue for anyone?
Your Honor, it is for me. I have a pre-existing hearing scheduled that day, but the 16th and the 17th, I'm open.
All right. How about the 16th or the 17th?
If I could have just a moment, Your Honor, to confer with my client. The 16th and 17th don't work for Ms. Reed. Either the 18th, I know that that's bad for Mr. Waters. The 19th would work.
19th works for
Attorney
me.
Jackson. Attorney Jackson, I can understand Ms. Reed wants to be there at every matter, but I don't necessarily think there are constitutional issues relative to the civil case.
I agree. I'm not suggesting that she has a constitutional right to be there, but I know that she wishes to participate in her own defense, and she would like to be there if we can accommodate her schedule.
Right, but if the court starts having to accommodate every party's schedule, it would grind the courts to a halt.
I understand. I get that. There's only one defendant, though. So, for what that's worth.
There are other defendants in this case.
Your Honor, for what it's worth, I can also do December 19th.
Will it be remote, Your Honor, by Zoom? I have things that week, but if it's going to be remote by Zoom, then I can try to, I can definitely be available and then not worry about moving things around on the week of the 15th.
What do we have that day? 19th. Hang on 1 second. I have to have the clerk check something.
Yes, Your Honor?
No, I'm checking the schedule here, Clerk Donovan.
Schedule there, okay.
They don't accommodate defendants. It's just not the way it works. I mean, that ask is a little crazy. I don't even know why he did
2 o'clock
that.
on December 19th. We'll schedule it virtually for now.
Thank you.
That works, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Appreciate it.
Didn't do it for you, bud. You did it because the other
All right,
attorney
see everyone then. Thank you.
Thank you.
said
you,
it.
Your Honor.
I don't hate you.
For the record, this matter is continued to December 19th, 2025 at 2 p.m. for the motion to compel and further status, and this hearing will be held by Zoom.
But I will
at
tell
this
you how
point in time.
pompous that was in a
Thank
second.
you all.
Thank you. Take care.
Not going to, because we only
Have a
got
good day.
half of the hearing. So hopefully we can get the rest of it in a minute by Court TV or X. Hot mic? Can we get a hot mic moment? No, we're not going to get a hot mic moment with the judge. Hot mic. Give us a hot mic. No. I'm not going to. No. Dang it. Okay. Damn it. I want a hot mic moment. Damn it. Guess we're not getting that. We're not getting a hot mic moment. Anyway. Yeah, it's okay. Hubby's home. Hubby's home. So that's the thing, right? That was a really pompous way. So here's the thing. They don't accommodate, especially in a civil case, they don't accommodate a defendant in what day they can or can't be there because they don't have to be at every hearing, right? That's for the lawyers to argue shit out. It has nothing to do with you having to be there at all. And so the court can't accommodate every fucking defendant's wish to be there or wish to see it or wish to hear it. You know what I mean? They cannot do that because if they did that, then they would have to accommodate every defendant in every single case and their schedule. It goes by the lawyer's schedules, not by the defendant's schedule. So I can't even really believe that he even asked that, knowing it's not a criminal case, it's a civil case. Like the court does not accommodate defendants and their schedules and whether they want to be there. They don't have to be there, right? Their attorneys do, but they don't have to be. So for me, that was a little fucking strange that he even just asked that, because what you're showing is that you're showing the judge that you think that your client has better rights or more pull than every other defendant in his court. And that's not a good look. You're not winning the judge over by doing that, right? Like you also don't, it's like a big no-no. You don't want to piss your judge off either. Yes, you want to fight, but you don't want to piss your judge off, especially over stupid shit. I mean, I know he's arrogant, but I mean, that's the bone you pick. That one of all the things he could push on, like that's the one you wanted to, like that. You know what I mean? I'm like, what in the fuck are we doing here, bud? Like, what's happening? Like, what is really freaking going on? Like, so wowza. Although I'm glad the judge kind of pointed out, which is like, Mr. Jackson, we don't run around the defendant's schedules because we'd have to do it for every fucking defendant. And therefore the court would never, you know what I mean? It would grind to a halt. He's right. It would absolutely grind to a halt if every defendant was like, in a civil case, was like, well, I would like to be there and those days don't work for me. It doesn't fucking matter what works for you. It matters what the attorneys have open, because you don't have to be there. Your attorneys can tell you what happened. You don't have to be there to see what happened. Like, that's their job. You want to be, that's cool. I understand it. Everyone probably wants to be, but that's just not the way it works. And Attorney Jackson knows that. He absolutely knows that. He knows that's the way it works. Why piss off the judge? In LA, hoity-toities are accommodated. They probably are in LA. But this ain't fucking LA. This is Massachusetts, you know? I'm just assuming she was. So the Zoom screen only shows us, I don't know how many it was, probably 9, I'm guessing. But what you don't get to see is in a Zoom hearing like that in a court, you see all the attorneys are on that front page. There are numerous pages. So if you're on a phone, you can actually use your finger and scroll over and it'll say different names. And some people have the camera on, some people have it off. It'll say different names and it'll be different faces. And it'll just be like page after page after page of people and names and faces. And so even though you didn't see that here, they only showed you the front page, there was numerous pages of people in that Zoom, right? You didn't see NBC 10 Boston's face but they're there on a page. So That's the part that you didn't see, but there was many more people than just what those attorneys were sitting there doing. I know, right? Shit, shame on me, right? And apparently didn't know. Well, and unfortunately, that's not going to be a winning argument for him, and he should know better. I mean, he does know better, but it's like, as an attorney, not to piss off the judge over trivial issues, right? You don't want to do that. That's not fucking smart by any stretch of the imagination, to just piss off the judge or act like you're entitled to something that is ridiculous like that, because then you're just sort of giving the judge an indication that you're willing to assert things in a certain way that is underhanded and out of context. And so the way he just asserted, well, my client can't do it this days, was almost as if she had some sort of say, which she doesn't. And so I think that's what the judge took issue with, which is, Mr. Jackson, we don't do what the defendant wants or needs to be here. There's no constitutional right to be here, right? That's a criminal case. You don't have that right in a civil case. Civil is different. Evidence is different, right? Where in a criminal case, it's, but a reasonable doubt. In a civil case, it's not. It's preponderance of the evidence. Is it more likely that she did it than she didn't? That is the bar for a civil case. It's not without a reasonable doubt or with a reasonable doubt. It's none of that. Okay? None of that. It is preponderance of the evidence, which is it more likely than not she did it? That's it. That's the bar. And it is very low, right? So it's not the same as a criminal case where you have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. Not the same at all. The bar is much lower, right? Much, much, much lower. So you don't have that constitutional right to be at every hearing. Like, it's a civil suit. So all the attorneys, they have stuff to argue out and figure out and do all that. But you don't have to be there. You can choose to go if you're available. But if you're not, the court isn't going to schedule it around whether you're available or not. If they did that for every fucking defendant, like the judge said, it would come to a screeching halt. They just can't do that. It's just not the way it operates. The entitlement is real. It's real, Well, this judge did. That's for damn sure. And that was not Judge Cannone. So I don't know. Maybe it was listed on the docket just because Cannone was the one for the criminal. And so, or maybe because she's also the head. Like, she's the head judge of Norfolk County Superior Court or whatever. I know technically this isn't that court, but she's the one who had the case the entire time. So maybe that's just the way it's listed. I don't know. But that was not Judge Cannone. So, that's the other thing. She really doesn't need that many lawyers. And to be honest, I'm not sure that Alan Jackson's going to be able to remain her lawyer, because he might have to be deposed as a witness. And so then he couldn't be her lawyer. And so I don't know how that's not going to run into a problem at some point. That's correct. She's the defendant. Anyway, in this case, it's a wrongful death suit. She is the defendant in the wrongful death suit. I'm guessing she's probably going on vacation. Florida, Bahamas, somewhere out of state, because why else wouldn't you be able to go? But even if you were out of state, if it's going to be Zoom, why couldn't you go anyway? Not available? What would you not be available for? If it was Zoom, because the judge just said it was going to be virtual for now. He said for now, which made it sound like the judge wasn't so happy with it being virtual at all. That more sounded like, well, we'll make it virtual for now, but if it needs to be changed, it will be. So, I mean, I don't think it will be, just because Attorney Diller said that he would have to move things around. And so I don't think at that point that they're going to make it in person, but it didn't sound like the judge really wants to keep doing this virtual thing. So I wouldn't be surprised if after the next one, which was December 19th, which I should write down before I forget. Because I will, if I don't write it down. I'm a person who has to write things down. Right? Aruba, Jamaica. Ooh, I wanna take it to Bermuda, Bahama. I'll keep my day job and not sing. Yeah, so she filed hers in Bristol. I figured it out in the middle. I was like, Bristol? Who has a case in Bristol? Because I was thinking more like Aiden. No, it's not. I should write down the time too. Yeah, I should definitely do that. But it's because she lives in Bristol. So her parents live in Dighton. She lives with her parents. And so Dighton is Bristol County. So her little thing that she just filed is technically Bristol County because you would file where you live. So she filed that in Bristol. I suspect that the witnesses will file for a motion to dismiss that. And that's essentially what Attorney Diller was saying, which is like, Your Honor, they may file for a motion to dismiss that. And so that could affect this. Yeah, on paper. I know. I'm old fashioned. I have to write it down. I know. On paper. I have this cute little sticky note pad that I've had for like ever, but I never really had a desk or a place to use it. And it's got little tiny sticky notes and it's got your little flag sticky notes and just got like a little note, like just little notes. It's very cute. I need to get a new notebook. I have filled all my notebooks with other case notes from other cases. And so I'm going to have to get a new one even soon because when the Walsh trial starts, I'm going to need a new one. I also need one of those like things you can put on your desk and you can put like files with papers in and like notebooks and paper. I need one of those things. So I don't have the beginning. It started right here in the middle of what they were doing is when it came on. So I'll play a little bit of the beginning. It was only 18 minutes long. We have to wait until, because they only were let into the Zoom almost at the end of this, obviously. So I'm waiting for Law and Crime, I believe it is, to release the entirety of it because we were told that they would be. So I don't know, but it started in the, like, it didn't start at the beginning. So they were only let into the Zoom. NBC 10 was let into the Zoom already, you know, more than 3/4 of the way through this thing. So
make this allegation and they think that there's this Bristol County action. I don't want to be prejudiced when we start taking depositions in this case, not knowing what information that they have already assembled when it's time for us to be able to inquire.
Your Honor, let me just quickly respond to that. First of all, I'm a little concerned by listening to my brother counsel read from what looks like a scripted message that doesn't seem to deal with any issues because there's been no motion to compel that's been served on us relating to those answers. There's been nothing filed with the court. Instead, my brother counsel is reading from a script for what I'm guessing is some other purpose. And what we'd like to do is we'd like to just...
Attorney Waters, excuse me
That's
for
weird.
interrupting, but maybe we'll take this as a 9C conference. You heard what he's looking for.
I paused it because we were, oh no, I didn't. Shit. Thought I did. I did. I paused it for a second because, and then it went and played.
Be prejudiced when we start taking depositions in
Here we
this
go again.
case, not knowing
Try again.
what information that they have already assembled when it's time.
Let me just throw this out there, right? Accusing Mark Diller from reading from a script. First of all, Mark Diller could write down anything he wants and read from it if he so chooses. Number one. Number two, he's clearly not reading from anything or scripting anything. He's clearly thinking at the same time as he's talking. But it's just another way of saying, look that way. Poo-poo what he's doing. Even if it was scripted and he wrote it ahead of time, that's completely fucking irrelevant, even though you can clearly see that the guy's thinking. He's not reading from any script, right? That's absurd, right? And it's bad faith. Bingo. Thank you. It's exactly what I was getting to. It's a bad faith move from her fucking attorneys to be like, he's doing something I don't like, Your Honor. He's bad. Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, we're doing this already again? Like, really? I mean, that's why the judge sort of reroutes him, which is, this is what he said. What do you have to say to that? completely irrelevant if he wrote it ahead of time, read from it, which isn't happening. Mark Diller is being accused of scripting, which is the attorney for the plaintiffs. So not Karen's attorneys, okay, for the family. Which is just so absurd. It's absurd. Like, that's ridiculous, okay? And so, but him even saying that in open court, what would be the purpose of it? There is no purpose of it. It doesn't freaking matter, right? It doesn't matter if he wrote it down and read it. You can clearly tell he didn't. You can clearly tell he's thinking while he's like writing and speaking at the same time. Like, he's doing 3 things at once. He's multitasking. He's writing notes, he's thinking, and he's speaking, right? Which most attorneys do all the fucking time. And so it's just funny because the judge then has to like reroute Karen's attorneys. Like, well, irrelevant, bub, what you're saying. So what do you have to say to what he said? Like, the judge wants to hear the legal argument. The judge doesn't want to hear your narrative. The judge doesn't want to hear your fucking opinion. The judge doesn't want to, it's for show. Exactly, Scorpio. Doesn't care what you think. The judge simply wants to hear what your counter legal argument is to his point or argument. Like, what is that's it. He doesn't want to hear your fucking opinions or what you think. Judge doesn't care about that. It's irrelevant. And it's like give an Emmy to the fucking people who can act the best. I mean, come on, it is a dumb comment to make. It's really stupid. And once again, do you really want to piss off the judge already? Because this is not Judge Cannoni. This is not Judge Cannoni. This is like Judge Cannoni to you. This is not Judge Cannoni. It's not Judge Cannoni. All right. Just say it. Not Judge Cannoni.
For us to be able to inquire.
Your Honor, let me just quickly respond to that. First of all, I'm a little concerned by listening to my brother counsel read from what looks like a scripted message that doesn't seem to deal with any issues because there's been no motion to compel that's been served on us relating to those answers. There's been nothing filed with the court. Instead, my brother counsel is reading from a script for what I'm guessing is some other purpose. And what we'd like to do is
some other purpose.
Attorney Waters, excuse me for interrupting, but maybe we'll take this as a 9C conference. You heard what he's looking for. What do you say to it?
Your Honor, actually, I don't know what he's talking about, to be candid.
Yeah, you do.
I think that Karen's statements have been consistent, and they're certainly consistent with the lawsuit that's been filed in Bristol County. So
her statements are consistent. And I know I have some of you people who are free Karen Reed here, so I'm not trying to hurt anybody's fifis here. But I am going to point out a few things. Her statements are not consistent. If you go to trial 1, she says she never backed that car up. She tells the news she never backed that car up. When they ask her in trial 2, outside of the courthouse, if she backed that car up, because the data shows her car backing up, and she was the only one driving it, her answer was, the data is the data. Okay? That's not fucking consistent, not even a little bit. She says she never said, did I hit him? So she claims in court filings, her attorneys claim it. Then she goes on an interview and says, I know I said, she knows, I know I said I hit him, but did I say it as many times as law enforcement is saying that I said it? That's not fucking consistent, right? You've denied saying it at all. Then it was a question, right? Then it was, I know I said that I hit him, but I don't think I said it as many times as law enforcement is saying that I said it. Or did I? Then it was, she couldn't remember half the night, which she texted to people. She said, then it was, he walked up towards the door, which we know is completely and utterly false because his device stops moving outside of the house just a few seconds after her car starts rapidly backing up. So that's not consistent. Her statements are not consistent. She is the one who came out after trial and said Colin Albert had nothing to do with anything, that Brian Higgins would not have gotten in a fight with John over anything, and that John never even knew about anything that had to do with Higgins. These are things that she said, right? Not consistent with what she's claiming now, of course, or what she claimed in the first trial. It's not consistent with what they claimed in the second trial. So these are ever-changing stories. So I don't know how he could possibly say they're consistent when there's literal evidence, video, data that shows that they're not consistent. That's a problem, right? So, I mean, if it was the government, I'd say the same thing. Like this Cosgrove missing a deadline, that's unprofessional. I don't know why he did it, but it's unfucking professional. Like that's just called like I see it. It is what it is, you know? Right. I saw him going to the house, then I watched him go to the threshold. Then the statements are inconsistent, you know?
My brother counsel is going to have to be more.
We know who did it, Steve. Then it was, we don't know who did it, and it's not for us to know. Which one is it? Which one is it?
Specific about what he thinks is inconsistent. I don't think it is at all. And that's usually why motion practice is a good idea.
Attorney Diller, I guess we'll consider the 9C conference conducted and file whatever motion you want to file.
Thank you,
And
Your
he
Honor.
will.
Anyone from, what's the status of the discovery with CNC Hospitality and GNS?
That's her, and they haven't unmuted her, so.
Attorney Diller, did you receive responses?
I did. Well, both parties had reached out to us over the history of this case. We may have propounded that discovery even before, while the criminal matter was going on, maybe around the time of the stay. But they then reached out to us at separate occasions and were very upfront about the fact that they're compiling discovery and needed more time. We allowed that additional time. Yesterday, we received some discovery, which I think I indicated to you, I have not reviewed yet, but we have received discovery from both bars. One bar, and forgive me for not recognizing which one is which, one bar may have sent me some preliminary discovery a couple weeks ago and then supplemented it yesterday. The other bar sent me a batch of discovery yesterday, none of which have I had an opportunity at this stage to review.
Okay. Anyone else want to offer anything on behalf of any of the parties?
Yeah.
Attorney Hassett on here for Waterfall?
Yes, Your Honor. Attorney Hassett for Waterfall.
Afternoon. Do you want to offer anything?
Your Honor, I would just say that with respect to the discovery, we have in fact responded to the plaintiff's discovery after an extension was granted. We did the interrogatory answers. Those have been complete. The document responses were, as Attorney Diller indicated, in 2 stages. We completed that as well. We have yet to propound discovery ourselves at this point. Obviously, there's a history in this case that occurred on through 2 criminal trials. It was our approach to see what documents were produced from the various keeper depositions and the other document requests among the parties. And then from there, after looking through the documents, make a decision as to what more pointed interrogatory answers we would propound. And as was indicated earlier, we've got a fairly lengthy discovery on a average tracking order, which permits discovery through next August. So in terms of our own discovery and our plan on propounding it, we were hopeful that we'd be able to wade through some of the voluminous documents first.
Who's here for McCarthy's? Is it Attorney Smith? Clerk Donovan, is Attorney Smith?
She
in the
is,
meeting?
yeah. Attorney Smith.
Yes, Your Honor, I asked her to unmute.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Attorney Tamara Smith for CF McCarthy's. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. Yes, as has been stated, we did produce several hundred pages of documents yesterday, have responded fully to the plaintiff's answers, to the plaintiff's interrogatory requests. And like counsel for Waterfall, there's, as indicated in this call today, over 1 million or about 1 million pages and documents that are forthcoming. So the thought here would be to see what is there so that there's not duplication of effort and additional requests put out that are already answered by what is already forthcoming.
Well, cool. They took it down while we were watching it. That's cool. Fun. That's fun. Oh, they took it down. They literally took it down. Son of a biznitch. What in the actual fuck? Any fuckity fuck. Ugh. He's not. That's the kicker. He's not a civil attorney. But they just took it down. Why stream it at all if you're going to take it down? Really strange. I don't understand. So they link it though on their website. So I was just looking on X, right, to show you guys, and oh, fuck, hold on. Put the wrong one up here. Hold on. Boop. Here we go. Right. This is what they put up 12 minutes ago. Lawyers have been discussing. So Karen Reed's civil case returned to court Friday. Over a dozen lawyers were present for a virtual hearing held in Plymouth Superior Court in a wrongful death suit brought against Reed by the family of her Boston police officer boyfriend, John O'Keefe, who died in 2022. Reed was charged with killing O'Keefe, but was acquitted at a retrial earlier this year. At Friday's hearing, which Reed didn't attend, apparently she didn't attend, I don't know, lawyers mentioned a defamation lawsuit that Reed filed this week against a group of people she says framed her. The information contained in the lawsuit filed Monday in Bristol Superior Court includes a rehash of information Reed's team has presented both during her criminal cases and in media interviews. It names former trooper Michael Proctor in his personal capacity, Yuri Buchanan in his personal capacity, Tully in his personal capacity, Brian and Nicole Albert, Jennifer and Matthew McCabe, and Brian Higgins. The lawsuit alleges gross misconduct on the part of the Mass State Police and those working in tandem with them, saying the agency failed to ensure justice in O'Keefe's death. An attorney for the O'Keefe family, Mark Diller, mentioned that lawyers have been discussing whether evidence sharing in both lawsuits, a legal process known as discovery, should be consolidated. Asked by the judge how long it might take to figure that out, Diller called it the big unknown, given that some parties Reed is suing in the Bristol Superior Court case could move to dismiss. The parties will share updates at a hearing next month, December 19th. So it doesn't tell us shit that we didn't already just hear. Well, here's the kicker, though. If he has to be a witness and deposed, there's not going to be room for him to be an attorney. So I think that's going to become a really large problem for him in this case. I don't know how he could get around that, really. But why did they take the video down? That's the part I don't quite understand here. It's interesting. I don't get why they would do that. Let me see if Ted Daniel put anything, because he seems to be a nope, nada. Interesting. Well, nonetheless, that's the only part we got to see. If another part, pops up at some point, then I guess we could. I'll post it, but I don't. At this point, I haven't seen shit posted other than what we saw, which was the ass end of it. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see the beginning of it, which I think would have been the most interesting part. And it doesn't say anything in that article about anything that was argued in the beginning, only what was argued in the parts that we saw. So that's fucking weird. That is freaking strange. I don't freaking know. Anyway, well, Matthew Farwell was charged for a second time federally with the death of Sandra Birchmore's unborn child today. And the Reed matter for today is what we just saw. I guess you could technically go back up my stream and watch the rest of it where it just cut out right before that. But it starts, probably 3/4 in, because that's when NBC 10 got in. And weirdly, they took the video down of the hearing. So now the only place you're going to see it is my channel or whoever else streamed it at that point, unless they try to, and there's a way they could have that taken down too. So I guess we'll see. We'll find out if I have a problem on YouTube with it there. Yeah, right. She wasn't even there. So she doesn't get that. That's not how it works. That's a damn good question. I think it's under the other attorneys that were there as licensed. I don't think he's not practicing under Yanetti's anymore. I think they had a falling out. But I think he's got to be practicing under, it's a different case. So he would have to, that's a good question. Did he ask to do this under Pro Hoc VJ? Under someone else's license? I'd have to go look at the docket and see, because he would have to in order to practice here in Mass. He can't just practice here. That's not the way it works. You have to practice under another attorney's license. And I don't know how you could be practicing under another attorney's license from a different case that is now over. It would have to be someone from this case currently. Or, I don't imagine Yannetti would just keep letting him work off it. That would be fucking weird. That would be fucking weird. Right? Right? A little late for that. A little late for that. All right. I'm 3 hours and 38 minutes in. My hubby is getting my little from the bus stop right now. And so I'm going to go spend some time with my birthday girl, because it is her birthday. And that is a big deal for her. Okay. She said her legs made her feel older today. All right. Maybe she meant she was taller, but it was cute nonetheless. And I'm probably going to let her pick dinner. Let her order whatever she wants to eat as a treat for her birthday. So I'm going to let y'all go, and I'm going to spend some time with my kiddo. I love your stinking faces. And if you would like to help support the channel, we have a bunch of different ways. You can hit like, you can hit subscribe, you can share the video. That's always an option. There's this new thing where you can hype videos when they're not live anymore. You can do that. You can do it 3 times a week. Apparently they sent me a whole email on it. YouTube did, about how to help smaller creators, is you can hype their videos 3 times a week for free. And that supposedly helps small creators. So I'd appreciate if y'all took the time to hype the video when it's not live anymore. Leave a comment. That always helps as well. And the monetary ways, you guys know how to do it. Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Revolut, Chime. We have a link you can use with your just good old credit or debit card. You can remain anonymous on any of those. Most of the time, if it comes in with someone's like government name, I don't read it, that their government name. I'll read the amount and maybe the note. You can always just write anonymous in it, and then you'll just remain anonymous anyway. Most of the time I know just to not say people's real names, because it's your government name and it should be safe. So yeah, she said her legs felt a little older. That's what she said. So I said, oh, you mean you're a little taller? It was the cutest thing this morning. And she had school today anyway. So I would be surprised if she didn't come back with like a pencil the teacher gave her for her birthday or something, just to make her feel special. They're pretty good at that. Ooh, that's a good movie. But tomorrow, Saturday, I have Saturdays off. So I won't see you guys again until Sunday to our Sunday Fun Day show. But I will see you guys Sunday. I love your stinking faces, and I will see you all on Sunday. Bye, everybody.